He's muted now.
Okay, there we go. We've killed the music. Everybody is back. Oh, I need to add something in place for Shelly there. Otherwise, you're seeing kind of a big comic screen.
You missed our cool discussion about genetic hybrids.
Yeah.
Sparking from
Ligers and Tigrons and mules. Oh my.
About Electrum versus
Electrum being,
Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
What was
and
that?
genetics. That's funny.
Was that something else that Justin was an authority on?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm kidding.
Crossbreeding.
Anywho, so while I'm working on putting up a picture for Shelly, somebody give me a recap of last game.
You betcha, boss.
Time.
Oh.
Last time.
Go on, Davey.
No. This is George's show, man.
No,
You're supposed to do it. You have the voice.
It's the law.
Okay.
The unions won't let me do it.
Oh, the unions.
Well, you know them unions.
Yeah.
Okay. Last time on what's the name of this show? Modern Age Hero.
Line.
All right.
Something.com.
You can hear somebody go grrr as they cut the check that they're sending to David. But yeah, you ordered a recap. Here we go. We're back in New York fighting against Tyrax. 3 members of the Legacy, Red Arsenal, Xenophreeze, and Pulsar are fighting him with a bunch of other cool superhero types. Let's see. Back in New Prussia, Lightbringer is plotting with Dr. Rosenkowski on how to beat Tyrax, and especially the Dravixium that he has coated himself in to make himself super strong. Shone is heading out to the front lines of the front lines of New Prussia in order to help Sagan repel against the Dravixians and the Russians that are invading. In New York, the group with Thor, Albrecht, a bunch of other cool super peeps, Black Mass, we're trying to pin Tyrax down, and then we get help from the very not ostentatious Baron Damocles, who attempts to take credit for our whole fight, but uses gravity magic to hold Tyrax in place while we wail on him, elementary school style. Back to New Prussia. Let's see. Lightbringer gets a Dravixium sample and then begins synthesizing an acid in order to destroy it. Up in space, Hyperion is monitoring the virus that they had previously implanted into the mothership. But the virus begins to flood into Hyperion, and he is fighting against this potent computer virus itself, and he's trying desperately to keep it from taking over his brain. Let's see. Lightbringer is able to create this acid and creates enough of it in order to make a single 9mm bullet or an arrow. Back in New York, Tyrax erupts the ground, breaking off the control that the superheroes had on him. Xenophreeze is knocked unconscious. Red Arsenal is flown into the debris. Pulsar's suit is dissipated, and we're pretty much on the ropes. Let's see. President Jurgen is the only one who is currently fighting against Tyrax, but Pulsar, while his suit is not able to re-engage, is able to still have super strength and enters into the fight to punch Tyrax in the mouth. Let's see. Lightbringer teleports to New York and finds Red Arsenal, where she reactivates him with the very ethically sourced electricity. Let's see. Lightbringer takes her acid arrow and fires it into the back of Tyrax's head, which is the only thing that is stuck into his dumb face since the fight began. Jurgen and Pulsar then punch Tyrax in the face like an anime at the same time, and we pop his little zit head off of his body, and he explodes. The Trivixium that holds Tyrax together also explodes, showering Pulsar with the shards that keeps him from healing his wounds. The Duridian fleet flees like a bunch of roaches. Collapsing Star is tasked with finding Hyperion before the capital ship, which has been abandoned, is going to self-destruct. He succeeds, but he shows up with a mutated rubble technology infused Hyperion who is completely offline. We try to find a way to reactivate Hyperion without causing whatever, or without essentially causing the virus to reactivate and take him over. Eventually, we do manage to bring him out of his coma, but he craves data and machinery, and we must keep Red Arsenal and Xenofreeze away from him. Let's see. A day later, Hyperion is rebuilding his upper torso, and he sees a line of code appear that says, "Welcome to the connection. Pleasure to make your acquaintance again, Father." And that was where we ended.
Okay, good recap. So it as of this point, it has been a couple days as the team has been attempting to recover and relax. Some people significantly more damage than others. Some just looking to get medics to check them over to make sure that they are too okay. But we have some news to read. So please bear with me. There will be a little bit of exposition on my part. This came March 10th, 1995, by Jonathan Merrick of the Global Tribune. And he writes, "The end of the Skyfall War, a world united in rebuilding. The long nightmare is over. The Skyfall War, the brutal conflict that saw the Duridian invasion threaten the very existence of humanity, has finally come to an end. After nearly 2 years of relentless battle, Earth and its allies have emerged battered but unbroken. Estimates place the global death toll at a staggering 312 million, with millions more injured or displaced. Yet in the face of unimaginable devastation, world leaders are calling for unity, renewal, and a steadfast commitment to rebuilding civilization. The battle for Earth and the heroes who turn the tide. In the final battle against Tyrax, the tyrant and his Duridian forces took place across multiple war-torn battlefronts, with some of the most decisive action occurring in Berlin, New York City, and the Ural mountain range. The Justice Legion, Earth's premier superhero team, played a pivotal role in repelling the alien onslaught. However, the victory came at a great cost. Prince Tidebreaker, Monarch, and Communique all sustained critical injuries in the final confrontation. The Legacy, a team believed to be directly tied to the missing hero Electrum, also played an integral role in countering Tyrax's final assault. President Jürgen Albrecht of New Prussia, a key figure in the resistance, personally led his nation's forces against Tyrax, leading one of the decisive blows that crippled the Duridian command structure. We have been tested beyond measure, Albrecht declared in a victory address from Königsberg, but the fire of humanity has not been extinguished. Let us seize this moment, not for vengeance, but for unity. We must build not only our cities, but for a better future for all. The road to recovery. The war left Washington, D.C., London, Tokyo, Beijing, and Rome in ruins. The total destruction of Manhattan, the near collapse of Moscow, and the obliteration of Sydney's harbors have forced governments worldwide to implement unprecedented reconstruction plans. In the United States, President Ellis Pennington has called for an international coalition to assist the rebuilding efforts. We will rebuild, President Pennington declared in a historic speech from the ruins of the Lincoln Memorial. From the ashes of this great tragedy, we will forge a stronger world. Just as we have faced the darkness together, we shall now stand in the light together. Russia, a nation in crisis. While many nations are looking forward to reconstruction, Russia has descended into chaos. The war exacerbated pre-existing global instability, leading to massive territorial fractures. Siberia has declared independence, forming the Free Siberian Federation under former Russian General Viktor Sokolov. The Caucasus region is in a state of open rebellion with multiple factions vying for control. St. Petersburg and the surrounding oblasts have formed their own provisional government, openly rejecting Moscow's authority. The Ural Republic, made up of industrial cities in the region, has formed an uneasy alliance with the elements of former Russian military. Foreign interference, including covert extraterrestrial involvement, has further destabilized the remnants of the Russian Republic, and it remains unclear whether a central government will be able to reassert control. The call for unity and a new future. Despite the devastation, there is hope. International coalitions are forming to coordinate relief efforts, and New Prussia, long an advocate for deviant rights, has offered asylum and resources to those displaced by the war. There are also reports of former enemies working together, with nations previously embroiled in Cold War tensions now finding common ground in the wake of a war that was threatened by all of humanity. President Albrecht and President Pennington have committed to an ongoing World Reconstruction Summit, set to take place later this year in Geneva. Their mutual message is clear. This is a time for cooperation, not division. We will not let the darkness return, Pennington stated in closing. We are survivors, we are builders, and most importantly, we are one people, humanity. As Earth is taking its first steps to recovery, the world watches with cautious optimism. The scars of war may never fully fade, but from devastation comes determination. From ruin, renewal, and from tragedy, the triumph of the human spirit. That was for the most part, that is like something similar that you find on a lot of media outlets. Obviously, there's a little bit of spin here or there, depending upon if it's more left or right leaning, or if it's more Canadian, or if it's more Central American, and so on and so forth. You know, obviously they'll have their own details interspersed in there with relevant data, cities that have been damaged, and necessary emergency contact information per your region.
And then you have the fake news.
We're not going to get into that. I could have written all kinds of articles from Tony Pope, but we don't need that right now. At least not yet. So this is the address that President Pennington provided to the people of the United States a couple days later on March 12, 1995. My fellow Americans, tonight we stand in the shadow of what was once the greatest challenge our world has ever faced. The Skyfall War has ended, but the road ahead remains long and difficult. Our cities lie in ruins. Our families bear the weight of loss, and the scars of this war will not fade overnight. Yet let me be clear. America has not fallen. America will rise again. We have always been a nation forged in adversity, tested by hardship, and defined by our resilience. From the fires of our revolution to the battlefields of our world wars, we have proven that the American spirit does not break. It bends, it endures, and in the end, it triumphs. This time is no different. The enemy came to wipe us from existence, believing that America would cower before them. But they were wrong. We fought back. We stood firm. We bled, we sacrificed, and in the end, we drove them from our world. Not just as soldiers, but as neighbors, as families, as one people united under a common purpose. Now we take on a new fight. Not against invaders from the stars, but against despair, against division, against the urge to give up. We will not yield to hopelessness. We will not surrender to fear. New York will rise again. Washington will stand stronger than ever. The roads will be cleared, the homes rebuilt, the wounds healed. We will restore what was lost, and we will build something even greater in its place. And we will not do it alone. The world is watching us, and it is time for us to lead by example. In this moment, we must not turn inward, but reach outward. We must lend our strength to those who need it, and in turn, accept the hands offered to us in solidarity. We are not just a people of war. We are a people of dreams, of progress, of hope. Let this moment be remembered not just for the struggle we have endured, but for the spirit with which we rise from it. America, we have been tested, and as always, we will overcome. God bless you all, and God bless the United States of America.
Trying to envision Bill Clinton's voice saying all that, but all I could think of was Ronald Reagan.
It probably would have been more appropriate for Ronald Reagan, because if I turn around and said, tonight we stand in the shadow of what once was the greatest challenge of the world has ever faced, doesn't carry the same gravitas.
No.
America totally punched Tyrex in the mouth and flipped him like an omelet.
Yep. And it was Tyrex to blame for Monica Lewinsky. I had nothing to do with that relationship.
That was a smear campaign.
It was a
all I'm
Doridian smear
hearing is,
campaign.
all I'm hearing is flashbacks from our Firefly game.
Yep. So
May it rest in peace.
later that same day, on March 12th, President Jürgen Albrecht addressed the people of New Prussia. My fellow citizens of New Prussia, we stand at the dawn of a new era. The fires of war have burned fiercely, and the sky itself seemed to fall upon us. Yet here we remain, scarred but steadfast, wounded but willing. The Skyfall War ended, and with it, an opportunity has arisen not just to rebuild our cities, but to reaffirm who we are as a people. New Prussia was forged in the fires of hardship, reclaimed from history itself by those who believed in our future. Ours has always been a nation that stands for the persecuted, for the exiled, and for those who have been told they do not belong. We have taken in deviants when the world sought to cast them aside, not out of charity, but out of recognition that strength comes from diversity. Today, we must hold firm to the principle, even as the world around us grapples with fear and division. There will be those who call for isolation, for self-preservation, at the expense of cooperation. I say to them, New Prussia does not turn its back on the world. We do not allow fear to consume our ideals. The war did not distinguish between human or deviant, soldier or civilian. It sought to erase us all. And together, we overcame it. Now together, we must rebuild what was lost. Look beyond our borders and you will see suffering on an unprecedented scale. From the smoldering ruins of New York to the fractured remains of Moscow, the world cries out for unity. We cannot stand idly by. We have endured much, but we are not alone in this struggle. Now is the time for nations to stand together, to cast aside petty grievances, and to forge a future where no race, human or deviant, need fear annihilation again. Let us not be drawn into the ways of hatred and mistrust. Let us not allow those who resent us for our strength to dictate the course of our future. Instead, let us be the example. Let us lead not through force, but through compassion. Let New Prussia be a beacon to the world, to a world in darkness, a reminder that when others falter, we shall extend our hand in friendship, not a fist in defiance. The world needs us now, not just as survivors, but as builders. As healers, as leaders, we have emerged from the war not just have emerged from the war not to close our doors, but to open them wider than ever before. This is our moment to show the world who we are, not just as New Prussians, not just as deviants, but as human beings standing together, ready to shape the future. Stand with me, and together we shall rise. Okay, so with that all out of the way, and Todd is actually in the chat. He says, "What's up?" And he says, "Calvin, cast magic missile."
Dude.
Alrighty.
Hadouken! Oh, wait. Wrong sound effect.
So, as I indicated, it has been a couple of days at this point. Respectively, everybody is back up to full health. And actually, before we continue, real fast, we need to roll for karma.
And can I roll for my power stunt too?
Were you healing that time? Because I believe you're still healing.
Oh, I guess not.
So those have all been provided in doc format in our Discord notes chat, so everybody has them in case they need to pull it off for whatever reason.
Sweet.
So, with that being said, there is an official award ceremony taking place right outside the presidential palatial estate in New Prussia to honor heroes of the war. Obviously, all of you have been invited.
Let's see. Well, yeah, I guess we would join. I don't see why not. Would anybody actually say no to that?
First, we should check on Hyperion's condition
Yeah.
and see if he's fit to be released into the wild.
Yeah, that's my first thought. Yeah.
He has no urges as of this point.
Okay.
Okay.
No offense.
Okay,
Hyperion.
I'm gonna go hug Hyperion.
No.
No, I knew it. He's not safe. Not safe.
He's Mecha Kirby. He
Yeah.
just swallowed you.
Yeah.
So Hyperion's got a body again.
Hyperion has a mobile platform currently.
Neat.
Oh.
He has been given effectively the Professor Xavier treatment.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Is it literally like a little hover chair that
Yeah.
he's moving around on? Okay.
Given the technology they have, that's cake.
Yeah. Okay.
So they've got that for you. The notification you have right now is obviously it's difficult to replicate what you were.
Mhm.
They have what they believe to be working specs, and Dr. Rostenkowski is currently assisting them in doing that, but it's still going to be a couple days before they get something that is ready for testing.
Okay.
The only downfall is that your chair sounds like a Jetsons. auto.
It makes it better.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Meet the legacy.
Yep. Got little circles that kind of come down off that antenna.
So that means that he gets a new action figure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Merchandise.
What is
Post
this?
Skyfall.
This is the third iteration of his form.
Hyperion the flame.
Post Skyfall Legacy.
Just
Get
more
your
merchandising.
action figures now.
Yeah.
Limited
Uh,
edition.
Drum, has my have I been able to get back compass and like reform my suit? Okay.
Yeah. Once you had a chance to get out of the fight and relax and de-stress, you found that was probably somewhat of a trigger.
Okay.
When it went down, it's kind of like being in a fight and getting caught in the shoulder really, really good. yeah, maybe your arm still works,
Mhm.
but that lingering pain is still there, and that's kind of what was happening with you. It's the stress of trying to get it back and the strain of trying to force that to come back to the forefront.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was like because it did have like its own consciousness and stuff. If it was like Venom, where now I had to go and like
No.
find it again.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I miss flying.
So, Red Arsenal would ask, "Do you guys want me there?" Because he has a structural engineering
Yes.
degree, and he could be more helpful with the rebuilding back home. So, if you guys want me there, he'll show up.
I mean,
There will be plenty of time for rebuilding.
Okay. Okay.
You can spare a couple of days.
Right.
do you guys often go to award ceremonies that you've been invited to?
This is kind of the first time.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it normal to get this kind of thing? I'm kind of still new to this.
It's a
You did
momentous
just-
occasion.
Yeah, you saved the world.
I guess so. It seems weird to get like a medallion for it.
I mean,
Would you
Well-
rather not be recognized for your efforts?
I don't know. It wasn't really in it for an accolade. It was just wanted to make sure we all still live to see tomorrow.
And
I
that's
mean-
very noble of you.
yeah.
However, you still deserve the accolade. Everyone deserves recognition for exceptional service. You literally delivered the blow that defeated he who was trying to destroy us all. You deserve it.
Think of
And
it as,
it could be more valuable in a couple of years, so you might want to hold on to that.
think of it as positive PR. It could definitely open some doors to us building better relations with other entities. I mean, like countries, governments, whatever, that will allow us to do our work more easily.
Sure. Also, Jerome, I have a question.
Mhm.
Was there footage of the fight that like made it out of like the stuff going on in New York?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so do people know what Pulsar's real face looks like now?
Not entirely. No.
Okay. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll go if you guys go.
Your face was pretty mussed from being punched, as well as dirty.
Okay. Yeah, I just wasn't sure if like now I had to worry about like anonymity or anything.
Well, it's not like you were like, "Oh, camera."
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, but there may have been
You're
like,
like,
a there may-
Hold on, Tyrax.
well, but New York is known
We
for its
didn't-
New York is known for its photographers who are good at taking pictures of superheroes in action. So
Yeah, where was
That's
Peter
because
Parker?
Yeah, I know, right?
yeah. So
Because the photographer is a superhero.
what are you talking about? Have you seen Peter Parker? Look at him. It looks like
Nerd.
Tobey Maguire.
No, he looks like Andrew Garfield.
He was my favorite. He was my favorite of the three.
Who's Toby Maguire?
But yeah, no, I just I do at one point would like to just be normal, and I don't know how I may have not gone if it was if my face is being plastered all over the place. That might be weird.
I understand. It is not.
Okay, good.
If anything, your superhero visage with the others is being plastered all over the place.
Okay, good. I'm fine with that. Sorry, Compass.
Okay, so all of you have been given an invite, obviously, to the award ceremony. It's a pretty big deal. They've got dignitaries from outside the country there as well, and it will
Where
be
is it being held
televised. It's going to be held in Königsberg, New Prussia, right in front of the steps of the presidential estate, palatial estate.
Okay.
Should we wear a tux?
Are
Or
you,
do we go? Or do
are
we
you
go
guys
in
asking
legacy
these
gear?
characters in question?
Yes,
Because
yes.
you would have been advised to go in your costumes.
Figured.
Okay.
I can make it look like I'm wearing a tux, but by all rights, except for my uniform, I'm naked all the time. I just look differently.
Wait, you're just naked all the time?
Yeah, but he looks like a
Kermit the
Ken doll.
Frog?
He looks like a Ken doll.
Like a liquid Ken doll?
Like a liquid Ken doll, yeah.
Like a T1000.
The
Ken doll.
T1000, yeah, exactly.
Well, the T1000 still attempts to look like he's wearing clothes, though.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, but technically, he's naked because that's still his skin, ish. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
You're like,
I'm going to be careful about where I sit in your
So
ship now.
reiterating back to my original questions, because we keep getting sidebarred.
Yeah.
Are we?
sorry.
Are you guys attending, or are you doing something else?
Tally
I think
ho.
we're
We should all
attending.
attend.
Yeah, we are. Red Arsenal's attending. Yeah.
Yeah, Pulsar's going.
Okie doke. That pinned as well. All right, so you guys are as you get out there, there's probably about 100 people that are in chairs that have been brought out onto the front lawn. That has been cleaned up, obviously, enough and looks repaired enough that it doesn't look like this place has really seen combat at all. So they're judiciously setting up the shot so it looks nice. There are obviously there's a number of chairs sitting down, or I should say not chairs sitting down, but there are a number of chairs that line the stage, and you are all directed to have a seat at one of those spots. At this point, sitting right next to Xenofreeze on the podium is an individual who actually let me. It's on the chat, but I will put it in here in the Facebook chat so you guys have access to the picture. 1 second. Boop. There is an individual sitting right next to Xenofreeze who looks like that.
That's Mainframe.
I don't.
He's not wearing pants.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I've got a soundbite for the.
Failure.
So, that being said, as you can see that there are some other costumed individuals that you don't recognize actually out in the audience as well. Not many, most of which looks like they're members, perhaps. Yeah, there's many people well dressed, so there could be politicians here. There's obviously a number of people from the media from all over the world, because it's a big deal. This is one of the first times that New Prussia has opened its doors. So obviously you've got media coming over from Europe, media coming over from the United States and from Canada. So it's kind of it's becoming a what to do. And as the ceremonies go on, President Albrecht takes the stage and gives a presentation. Essentially, summarized is that these are individuals being awarded or being given recognition from New Prussia for their valiant efforts and what it took to essentially stop the war. So New Prussia, what other countries, if they have anything to honor, that's fine. This is what they are doing to recognize who they feel were vital and essential to the war effort. So first to come up, where's my note? Oh, I didn't open that pad. Hold on a second. Ba-doonk. There it is. And if you guys want to know what these medals mean, it's in the New Prussian Player's Guide I just posted in the Discord chat. So the first one called up is Xenofreeze.
Step up.
You are being given a couple of different medals. You are being given do I still have? I don't have it pulled up. 1 second.
I'm
So
the coolest member, literally.
Literally, yeah.
Who's the hottest one?
Me. 'Cause
Uh-oh.
I have the lightning and electricity.
I literally have fire coming out of my head.
Good point.
For a moment there, I
There's
thought
that.
you were going to say it was coming out
I-
of the other end.
It
I
can if
will-
I'm feeling saucy.
Oh my.
Depends on if he's eating at Taco
I
Bell.
volunteer to be the brightest one.
You know, it made me think of the butt blasters from Tremors.
Hyperion's the most artificial.
Oh,
So as Xenofreeze has been called forward, Xenofreeze is being recognized for excellence in extraterrestrial research and intelligence, and being given the Voidborn citation.
Ooh.
The what?
Voidborn.
Voidborn. Citation, huh?
You are also being given the Storm Fury Medal, the Königsberg Star, and the Duskfire Medal. The Storm Fury Medal. Oops. Would help if I spelled it right. There we go. The Storm Fury Medal is awarded for victory against overwhelming odds. The Königsberg Medal.
Which one's that? The Duskfire? Or that's the last one?
Storm
I
Fury.
missed one. Okay, Storm Fury is victory against overwhelming odds. Okay.
Yes. Königsberg Star is coming to the defense of the homeland.
Okay.
And the Duskfire. Here we go. For leadership in hybrid warfare, conventional and deviant tactics.
I'll be right back, guys.
No, because you're next.
Yes. Oh, okay. Hurry.
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Leadership
Okay.
in deviant warfare.
Yes.
And the Voidborn
Which
citation
these are
was-
all in the New Prussian notes. So if you look
Okay.
at the doc in
Okay.
the Discord file, you can cross-reference them there. It's at the very bottom.
Okay.
Red Arsenal is being brought up. Red Arsenal is also being given the Storm Fury Medal,
Nice.
the Königsberg Star, and Duskfire Medal.
Okay. Storm Fury, Duskfire,
And
the
Königsberg.
Königsberg Star.
Mhm. And all the spelling and everything will be posted in the chat as well. So next is Pulsar. Pulsar is being given the Storm Fury Medal, the Königsberg Star, as well as the Duskfire Medal.
I'm writing all this stuff down.
And because Shelley stepped away, Shone is called up. Shone also has all three of the same medals: the Storm Fury Medal, Königsberg Star, and Duskfire Medal. Then they call out for Heat Phantom. who is the individual who had been sitting next to Xenofreeze. Heat Phantom is being given the Black Guard citation, the Spear of Thunder, the Knight's Hammer, and the Knight's Hammer. Sorry. They refer to him as the Shadow of the Baltics. The Spear of Thunder is for Operation Thunder Spear, for liberating Belarus and Ukraine from the Duridians.
Ooh.
The Black Guard citation. Scroll back over here. Black Guard. The Black Guard citation is earned for covert operations. It's a covert operations distinction for Aether Corps and Special Forces. Again, all the spellings and the notes for that in the New Prussian Player's Guide that I've posted up, so in case you need it. And the Knight's Hammer recognizes excellence in ground combat.
Sweet.
Then Lightbringer is brought forward. Lightbringer is being given the Storm Fury Medal, the Königsberg Star, the Duskfire Medal, and also the Sigmund Adler Medal. The Sigmund Adler Medal is the highest scientific honor in military research. And then Hyperion is brought forward as he apparently pops a drink.
He's enjoying his face buds.
Be
He
sure,
got it.
be sure to mute your mics when that happens.
He got a sponsorship with Coors.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it to pick that up. That's funny.
So Hyperion is being awarded the Storm Fury Medal, the Königsberg Star, the Duskfire Medal, and he is being recognized for the Shield of Albrecht. The Shield of Albrecht recognizes extraordinary leadership and resilience.
Nice.
It is for all intents and purposes the second highest medal that one could actually earn in the country.
Which one is the highest?
Iron Phoenix Cross
Yep.
Ooh.
for the highest military honor for extreme bravery and valor.
Oh, I see. They're all numbered. Oh, nice. Okay.
They're not; those aren't numeric in the sense of like value.
Ah, okay.
Those are just awards in general. Like, for example, you wouldn't want to say the Blackguard citation was more valuable than the Verdun Cross, which is their equivalent of a Purple Heart. It just means one means you got wounded in the line of battle, and so you have that. But the Blackguard citation recognizes you for X, Y, or Z.
Okay.
And when at this point, of course, there's lots of flashes. There's cameras going off. There's video cameras off to the side, filming everything going forward. President Albrecht takes a moment to personally draw attention to everyone on stage and thanks them for their actions, be they here or abroad, in defending planet Earth and stopping the Duridian menace.
Oh, did I miss my
Yes, you did.
award? What did I get?
You got Storm Fury, Königsberg, and Duskfire.
Okay. I had to potty. I can't help it.
Well, just don't give us the context. We don't need it.
Hey, sharing is caring.
Nope.
Oh,
And I care a lot.
We care a lot.
nice.
All right. Well, as that obviously begins to wind down, uh, all of you all of Legacy, as well as Heat Phantom, are being brought into basically a private celebration, a private party. It's not like a big, we're cracking fireworks and party poppers and whatnot, but it's a moment for people to quietly discuss, reflect. Select media have been allowed to come in to ask maybe a couple questions. Obviously, some politicians have been in here, which you guys do see. Senator Barrett has made it over and has been talking to President Albrecht on occasion. You do see some other costumed individuals who you don't recognize here, who are obviously kind of making their way around. Heat Phantom, as you are obviously you're not used to the pomp and circumstance. That's never been your particular role in anything that you've done here. It's always been quiet, so this is a little I don't know if you consider it off-putting, but it's definitely out of your element. However, Sagan approaches you, and she's a lieutenant in the in the science police. She's also a special operative, a special ops operative, but from a different side. She obviously doesn't come at it from the stealth perspective like you do. Her role previously had been embedded with the Legacy, so and that's been public knowledge. She had been there to assist specifically Lightbringer, and it is known throughout the country that Lightbringer is the granddaughter of President Albrecht. So obviously a person of value and opportunity, and somebody that he didn't want to see bothered or snuffed out, giving her that added level of protection. Sagan, however, she's got the military crew cut, very business oriented. She's got well built, probably like 5'8", wearing actually her officer's blues at this point to this particular party. She's taking you specifically off to the side, and she says, so there are some introductions that the president is wanting to have done on your behalf. There has been some new information that's been brought to light that we feel that you should be made aware of. And you're muted, Matt. Oh, no, he's still...
So I take it Matt is Heat Phantom?
No, I just... he's a stand-in right now.
Oh, okay. I'm just catching up.
Yes, he's Heat Phantom.
He said in the chat his mic's not working.
Yeah, he may need to plug it back in. Oh, so if you got to back out, and then restart or come back in.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Oh, now we're starting to hear you.
Okay. It would be my privilege to make information known.
You're gonna have to put the microphone closer or something. It's kind of hard to hear you.
Oh,
Now we can't hear you at all. Okay, so while you're working on your mic, we'll move over to somebody else real quick. All right. Second. Wait, so I wasn't ready for that. That's okay. Oh, that's right. I've got other files I need to pull up.
Did Lightbringer also win the best granddaughter award?
I win that like every
He's a
day.
gold star.
Oh, yeah, I would say. Oh, yeah. It goes without
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a little sticker gold star that
Yeah.
Albrecht just puts on her forehead.
Yeah.
It goes on her. It goes on her lunchbox.
Does he still make you your super lunch?
Super lunch.
Yeah. He puts a little smiley face on my sandwich,
He always cuts the crust off because you hate the crust.
pretty much.
But with his laser vision.
Yeah. We're all about, everyday use of these powers, not just for combat.
I'm a kick at parties, because if the keg needs to be chilled, it's
Zeno's your man.
You'd like a couple extra ice cubes?
So
They just want me on their winter beach parties. I don't know why.
So Lightbringer, as you are in this particular party, someone approaches you. She appears to be Asian. You're not too sure who or what this person is, as you've never met her before. She doesn't appear to be intimidated by everyone here. She does look like she build wise very athletic. She is in a costume. Her face is covered. Her costume is a bit more of like a kind of like a jumpsuit that it looks like it had kind of a military like jumpsuit, but there's not all the 90s tactical gear and pouches all over her. What she does have around her, though, around kind of like her neck and top, appear to be gray silks of some kind, and she has some
Gray silks.
Yes, and some wrapped around her forearms, as well as what appear to be kind of like a waistband that is wrapped around her as well. She has apparently like some news, somebody from the news following her, and she approaches and extends her hand to Lightbringer, and she says, "Lightbringer, if I could have just a moment of your time."
Hi. I don't think we've met before.
She says, "No,
And I'll shake her hand.
we haven't." And so she takes a moment to shake your hand. She says, "My name is Gunmetal Silk," and then she leans in real quick and whispers, "I'm sorry." As the cameras are, focusing, there's more clicks of flashes and, people taking pictures of photo op. It's clear that they wanted her shaking your hand, sort of thing.
Up her street cred.
And she
guess.
says, I don't know if you've heard of us. I am the leader of the Taeguk Sentinels. We're from South Korea.
Korea. That's what I was gonna guess. Yeah. I mean, I'm not familiar with your team. Tell me more about you.
Uh, she says, "Well, I'm not here to be, primarily about our team. I just wanted to introduce myself to you." And she says, "You were. We would love to have you come by South Korea sometime, even if it was for a mutual training session with your group and ours. Obviously," and she kind of looks to the media. She says, "It would probably be for some PR purposes, but we do feel that there would be the opportunity to train given some of the geopolitical changes in the region."
Cool. I will speak to my team and we'll see what we can arrange.
Excellent, excellent. Then I take it I will see all of you in the joint debrief.
Yeah.
Good. Again, I apologize. Please enjoy your party. And again, sorry about the entourage.
Pleasure to meet you.
And so she goes off and kind of makes her way, through the crowd, and some people, they're following her. And as they go by, the people that are following her are almost kind of narrating as if it was kind of like reality TV. Why don't you give me an intuition check, Blightbringer?
No, a new evil has surfaced.
Oh.
It's called K-drama.
You said intuition?
Yes. Unless you want to try and figure it out with agility, but that won't help you figure it out. So.
I mean, my score is the same, so. Yellow.
Okay. You haven't heard of the team like you indicated, but you do know that there was some kind of an initiative back in the early to mid 80s that some corporation in South Korea were holding tryouts for the next big superhero, and they were in essence treating it like a K-drama or K-pop and drama
Yeah, it's
idols.
like an idol thing.
Yes.
Well, if she's got superpowers, it could be worth looking into. It's very interesting.
That's the reason why you kind of remember it, because it was really different than what's been obviously going on in the rest of the world. It's always been kind of very hodgepodge, not organized or whatnot, but those South Koreans decided to turn it into a thing, and it made massive ratings for them.
That's so Korean of them.
Right? It's kind of annoying that they've got this positive superhero culture.
Mm-hmm.
Except that they have to be followed around everywhere they go, and all of their movements are tracked. And I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that,
I guess that's true.
They have a
So-
lot
That's
riding
true.
on their shoulders.
Okay, so Matt, do
They
we
can't
have
be
your
seen
your mic
dating
issues
anyone
fixed?
because
Yep.
that would hurt their PR.
Yep.
I can't hear Matt. Nope.
Nothing.
Dang, damn it.
I wonder, do you have a microphone on your computer? Like if it's a laptop or something, that would probably be better than nothing.
Yeah, how's this?
There we go.
Oh, there you go.
Can you hear you now? Yeah.
Yeah, it's my webcam mic. It's not close, but better than nothing.
Okay, keep talking.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Well, I put him on auto gain, so
Right.
even though it's a webcam, we'll be able to hear him better. Okay, so at any rate. So Sagan was indicating to you that new information has been brought to light, and President Albrecht was wanting to give you some introductions. That there are people that you need to
Yes.
meet.
Am I clear to know this information?
Yes, you have been given clearance. And for your clarity, this was not made known even to us until some of your recent medical records came to us, and we had, from what I understand, the science wing was able to ascertain some information about your genetic profile.
Oh, we have another brother.
You make that sound so ominous.
Dun dun dun.
I suppose well, I don't want to give you any more than that because I would rather you make up your own mind. I don't think it's particularly bad, but it may raise other questions that you aren't ready for. So if you'll follow me, I will conduct the introductions and let you take it from there.
Of course, Commander. I will follow.
All right, so Sagan then approaches Lightbringer. Excuse me, ma'am, do you have a moment?
Yeah. What's up?
I was hoping you could help facilitate an introduction with your particular group. Oh, and congratulations on the medals, ma'am.
Did Sagan get any medals?
She did, yes. I haven't
Okay,
got into
so-
details to what they were, but she would have, yes.
So I'll say congratulations on yours. You did a great job.
Thank you, ma'am. It was a target-rich environment.
It was, wasn't it?
She says, this is Heat Phantom. You may have seen him on stage earlier. He is a member of our Aether Corps.
Aether Core.
Yes.
Do I know what that is?
You would, and you can look that up in the handy-dandy New Prussian Player's Guide.
Okay. Oh, it's intelligence gathering in unstable regions. Okay. So she'll offer to shake his hand and say, "Pleased to meet you, Heat Phantom." Yeah.
Thank you. It is my privilege to meet you. I only wish that I could have provided you security during the conflict.
Well, we each had our part to play. Glad that you came out of it so well.
Ma'am, the reason why I'm introducing him to you is he has a familiar genetic profile.
Oh,
I figured you would perhaps be best to introduce him to the others, and because I don't know how exactly you handle it, but this was information that was only recently given to us that we were made aware of.
does he know?
She
How
looks
much-
directly
how
at
much does
Heath
he
Phantom
know?
at that point, and then looks to you, and she says, he has been now made aware. But beyond that, we haven't extrapolated.
Heat Phantom, do you have plans after the reception?
It depends on what my leadership wishes me to do. You are a very beautiful woman, but
That's not what I had in mind. But thank you.
Luke Skywalker vibes.
Yeah.
I wonder if you'd like to have a meeting with my team to discuss.
oh, your team. It would be. I'll look at Sagan. Would it be approved for me to?
Yes, you've already been given clearance from the president.
Then You are my heroes. Yes, of course. I would like to meet the team.
Okay. Let me make sure that we can arrange a time and a place, and I will get back to you on the details.
Of course, you will send me your deeds. Yes.
Great. Don't leave the party until I've tracked you down again, unless Sagan has a way to contact you.
She
says
is
you
not
can-
in my direct line of command, but she.
She says you can, ma'am. You can just request it through Signet.
Okay. All right. If you do happen to leave before I make the arrangements, then I'll get to you as soon as I can.
Very good. I assure you, the moment you contact me, I will be there.
Okay. Well, enjoy the reception, and congratulations on your honors. Sounds like they were well warranted.
They are for the people, to give them something to rally around. They are not needed for me.
I feel the same way. All right. I'll speak with you soon.
Of course, of course.
So Lightbringer will go find Hyperion.
Okay. Of everyone in the crowd, he is the easiest to find.
Heads above everybody else in his hover chair.
Look, everybody, it's Robo Cripple. No.
I'm not
Yeah, you need to
handicapped.
come up
I'm
with
handy capable.
Are people using him as a meetup point? Like, go get your food and then meet us back at the sculpture.
But I move. I'm not a. Oh.
Cripple fight.
Hey, Hyperion, how are you enjoying the party?
It's very interesting. It's different from parties we've engaged in well, other scenarios. In fact, this is the first time I've even received actual accolades. It's an interesting experience. How are you faring?
Been a little swamped with PR photos. Apparently, I'm a high profile person.
I
But,
think you'd have gotten used to that by now.
I mean, it's like seeing your teacher at the grocery store, like having people that you know from other places, show up in different locations than you expect them to be.
Hmm.
It's really disorienting. Are you still able to eat food?
It seems that I am. I haven't been able to use my regeneration capabilities to fix the rest of my body, as you can see, but, well, that apparently will take some time for Dr. Rostenkowski and other new Prussian engineers to fix that issue for me. But
So-
otherwise, all other systems seem to be working.
So have you been able to try the refreshments?
I have. It's interesting. The alcohol is initially painful. The more powerful the alcoholic content, I find it odd that people would continue drinking it. It would seem to
Yeah.
be a.
I mean, it's a mild poison, so it's definitely an acquired taste. Something about how the effects counter the initial detraction. Anyway, I didn't actually need to talk to you about the alcohol. So I've just been informed that there's another genetic relative here in Königsberg, and I thought we should maybe have a discussion with the team and the new person.
You're saying a new sibling of ours has been found then?
So it would seem.
Who determined this?
The new Prussian, well, this is what I'm hearing from Sagan, brought it to my attention. It sounds like he hasn't been clued into exactly what the gene is. So I've asked him to meet us after the party. Just
I
a heads
see.
up.
Have you already met this person?
Just now. Just now, it's that guy up on stage with us, Heat Phantom.
I see. Interesting.
Yeah.
So he's aware of very little about what exactly this relationship actually is or means.
That's my understanding.
Understood. Well, yes, we can communicate to the rest of the team. Did you have an idea of where you'd want to meet him?
Not yet, but I thought I'd let you know, and then we can arrange a place. Maybe like a conference room. Does that sound okay?
Completely fine. If you believe it would still be necessary for us to hide that, it seems that the world itself is going to have to restructure itself. I wonder if we still need to maintain anonymity, or if we actually should show ourselves to the world, explain who we are.
You mean alter ego, or do you mean just about our genetics?
It does seem, based on recent news broadcasts, that it's been made aware the legacy has a connection to Electrum. But I wonder if we should make it official where we admit such a thing and or show our actual identities. What are your thoughts?
Well, that's one bit of information that you can't put back in the bag. So I'm
True.
reluctant to let go of it. But the Electrum thing, I think it would make sense. I mean, does the world need to know that they were put in danger because Electrum was not here?
Although at the same time, it wasn't his fault that the danger occurred. The rest of us, it did actually rise up. And for all we know, if he were still here, and if he were to actually encounter Tyrax, perhaps he would have been killed by
It's
Tyrax.
true. We don't know if things would have gone better or worse. That's true. Especially knowing how close a call that was in the first place.
Perhaps we can reach out to Senator Barrett and Ms. McCall to see if letting the world know about a relationship to Electrum and making it clear would be beneficial or not.
And maybe our new PR guy should be looped in.
True.
We probably ought to catch up with him anyway. I'm sure he's got plenty of things to arrange after the last few days.
I'm hoping he wasn't one of the 312 million casualties.
Yeah.
It's hard to determine, but
True.
excellent ideas. Well, beyond that, was there anything else you needed to let me know?
That's it. I mean, for now, I just wanted to give you a heads up, and I'll go arrange the meeting space.
Excellent. Well, then, of course, continue to enjoy, and for your accolades, congratulations.
And yours.
Thank you.
Definitely try the that one dessert, the gray stuff. It's delicious.
Huh. It's almost my color. Interesting. Starts hovering over.
So I guess okay. So I need to just make sure that the meeting space is arranged, and then I don't know who wants to loop in the rest of the group that we've got a meeting.
If only somebody had certain powers.
So,
I guess I have the crown. I could just activate that, right?
yeah.
Yep.
And have global regular communications been reestablished? Could we use our normal communicators to
Yes.
reach everybody? Okay. Could just do that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll just arrange the meeting, and then I'll tell everybody on comms that we need to have a little chat after the party. So don't have too much fun.
Okay.
I'm spending my time, since more than likely there's not anything that I can imbibe here. I'll make a.
There's a
little ice
special
sculpture.
tray with his name on it.
Oh, no. Right. And they're like, why do you get this special stuff? Gluten intolerant. Like making little ice sculptures,
Okay.
something like that.
So
Yeah.
anybody doing anything else in particular? Anything you're looking into?
No, I
Ro-
think Sean would just be mingling. When she catches eye of Lightbringer and Hyperion talking, she would just teleport over to them, but of
Mhm.
course it would be as Lightbringer is leaving. So
Okay.
instead, she would just lean down and stick her finger in the gray stuff that's on Hyperion's plate. Dictate.
Red Arsenal would be talking shop with other engineers and whatnot.
Okay.
Pulsar is a intergalactic wallflower and doesn't know any of these people, and so is just there. He's polite if people want to come up and talk to him, but he's kind of just like, I don't know what to say to any of you.
So, what's this meeting about?
Oh, yes. Apparently, another genetic relation to us has been discovered. We're
Oh,
all
no.
going to meet him later.
So we have another brother from
same
another
father.
mother.
It would appear so.
I wonder how many are going to start popping out of the woodwork.
Impossible to know. But there
That
is this
would-
at least one extra.
That would make 7 of us. I wonder if we should change our name to Legacy 7. I mean, it is a lucky number.
We would need to change the number if we gained or lost other members. If we simply kept it as the legacy, it might be easier.
Hmm.
After all, again, as you've pointed out, we really have no idea how many individuals are part of our siblings.
I wonder what part of the galaxy or which realm he's from.
We'll find out relatively soon. Later on in a nearby conference room, we're going to meet him as a group.
How are you feeling, by the way? This has got to be kind of disorientating for you.
It is, in a way, first, but I remember when I was simply eyes looking ahead of myself when I was first activated in the vein. So, in a way, it's somewhat nostalgic, having less of myself to think about. It's
It's
interesting.
interesting. Yeah, it is, because I forget sometimes that you're not just all flesh and blood.
I'm, in fact, not at all flesh and blood.
Yeah.
But
I
That's
forget
fine.
sometimes. Yeah.
how have you been feeling?
Um, I'm okay. At least I can talk a little bit better. I don't know if I'll ever sing soprano again, but
Hmm.
I'm okay.
Well, then perhaps you should maintain your day job.
Yeah, no more karaoke, I suppose.
It would seem that our brother is trying to be a wallflower and avoid mingling, as
Yeah.
he points over to Pulsar.
And at that point, she will reach down and touch Hyperion's hand and teleport them both right in front of Pulsar.
Okay.
Brother,
Uh,
we noticed you were simply staying out of the way. Is something wrong?
no, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing right now.
Oh. Then join us. Let's mingle and see who we can talk to. Anybody who would want to interact with us, I'm sure, would be at least good information, if not good relations.
Uh, I guess.
Yeah, we can introduce you to a few people. I think you should get to know the others.
Uh, okay. You guys know I didn't really do any of this stuff before I met you guys, right?
Neither did I, but
Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
think any of us did.
Yeah, I thought if it got awkward enough, I'd just go outside and go flying because I miss it. But sure, introduce me to people.
Before we do, just kind of check in with you as well. How are you doing?
Um, I mean, I feel better now that the suit is back. Still a little kind of mixed up about how I feel about how New York went down, but I've also been once I'm just trying to distract myself. I want to find out how Senia is doing. I want to see what became of that because we kind of got interrupted mid liberation. Um,
You
still want to,
do you still have family there, right?
as far as I know, yeah.
Perhaps after all this, you and I can pop over there to see if your family is still there.
Well, I don't know if we could just because Senia wasn't. They were technically a part of the invasion. I don't know if they're still. We should probably do research before we just pop into because they may still have their power dampening thing up if they're still
True.
functioning.
We can talk to New Prussian intelligence operatives here to see if they know anything further about Senia and its current state, to see if visiting there or just simply going there to find your parents would be even feasible at this point.
And if it's still a hostile, perhaps we can bring your parents out of Senia.
I mean, I would like to rescue them, but I would also like to I would like to free everybody there.
Well, of course. I mean,
Yeah. But no,
I felt the same way when I found out that my own home was in jeopardy, but without being able to open the portal to go back, I was helpless.
yeah. I understand. I think after everything that we've kind of been through in most recent days, it's kind of yeah. I think I'm trying to be a little less selfish with what my goals are. I'm trying to think just a bit more globally, but the world's still pretty big.
I would still think it might be safer to get your parents out first. If it ever came out that they were in relationship to you, it could put them in danger if Sinya is still hostile.
Yeah. I mean that would be that would be nice. But
Yeah, family's important.
yeah.
Have you tried this gray dish? I haven't been told what it is, but
Oh, but it tastes good. She's gonna put her finger in it again.
I don't think that's how you're supposed to eat it, Sean. I have a spoon.
Yeah, it's okay. You use the spoon, and she'll lick her finger.
Aren't you worried about germs?
From Hyperion?
No, I'm worried about Hyperion getting your germs. You're putting your fingers in his food.
I don't think he can get germs from me.
But wasn't he just infected with a computer virus?
See, I would be more concerned that he would infect me.
Are
You're a
you-
computer?
I knew it.
Some
what did-
biology lessons and computer science lessons might be in order for all of us when we return to the vein.
Yeah, I don't think I can get his virus.
what is this stuff? It's gray.
I don't know, but it's delicious.
Is it? I mean, is it going to beat that blue paste we had on the space station?
No. Damn, I knew I should have taken all of that.
I think I still have some, but I don't know what I did with it.
Yeah, I have some back at my place, but still, I left a lot there because we thought we were going to be going back and forth.
Oh, have we tried to get in contact with like the our home base back in America? Is the computer system like still down, or have we tried to make contact with that?
Hyperion to Helios. Do you read?
Affirmative.
Excellent. Helios, we haven't been at the vein for a while, of course. Could you give an update if anything has actually happened to the base since the Skyfall War?
Negative. Nothing has happened to the base. We appear, for all intents and purposes, as a piece of the mountain range.
Excellent.
Speaking of AI, do you think there's anything left of the other base? Or do you think it's just stardust?
I actually had thoughts on that. When I am more intact, we can try to reopen the portal to see if it leads to the vacuum of space or if something else has happened to that base.
Yeah, I'd be interested to find out. Kind of sad, though, that we lost Universe.
Yeah,
At least
but
for now.
yeah,
Well, we sure could use him now to put you back together.
I am confident that those here will be more than capable of assisting me, putting Humpty Dumpty back together again.
do you know in the poem never mentions he's an egg?
And yet, he keeps being drawn as one.
Yeah, they never mentioned once that he's an egg in the actual poem. I thought that was weird. Sorry. I didn't have that in Senia. I learned about it later, and I was like, wait, why are they drawing him as an egg?
And you could use that perhaps when making small talk amongst the rest of the patrons here.
Yeah, that's actually a good one.
Do you think a lot of these reporters will want to hear my insights on Humpty Dumpty and his egg conspiracy?
I think the reporters would want to know how you felt because you literally battled Tyrex face to face. They would likely want to know your story.
I mean, you were kind of Humpty Dumpty yourself.
And at
Yeah.
that point, Sagan comes walking up, and she says, "You'll have to forgive the impertinence, but perhaps the plants would enjoy your conspiracy, your egg conspiracy, perhaps."
The plants? Oh, wait, hold on. Sagan knows about my ability to speak to plants, my ultra vital ability.
And she looks to Hyperion. She says, "Oh, I wasn't aware you could eat. How is the labor nodal? Nodal?
Oh, is that what that is?
Ah, it's good.
She says the beef liver is condensed down given the circumstances, but yes."
What makes it gray?
You know, at that point, Joan's kind of
Ingredients.
shaking her finger and making a face. Ugh.
Hmm.
You just had to say it, didn't you?
Knowing what it is changes the taste for you?
Yeah. I don't like liver.
I'll take a spoonful now.
Okay.
Have you ever smelled liver and onions being cooked? Oh,
You need iron for your body. Oh,
yeah. No,
She-
I'll get it some other way.
But she says, Hyperion, if you could gather your team, well, they're going to do a joint intelligence debrief.
Excellent. I will do so right away. Hyperion of the Legacy, as a report, we're going to be doing a debrief relatively soon with New Prussian forces. If you could all meet with me, I'm sure you'll be able to find me. I'm the only one in a hover chair.
From one of the groups, you just see this like thumbs up.
And then he looks to Sagan and goes, Sagan, while you're here, do you know anything about what's happened in Senia since Skyfall ended?
That is actually going to be a part of the joint debrief,
Excellent.
from my understanding. This is our attempt to disseminate information that we've managed to glean with who we believe to be important intelligence groups in the near future, which is why you see representatives from South Korea, Japan, the United States, and the European Union.
I see. Yes, it seems everyone is interested in what Senia has been doing, given what's happened.
Well, I'm not at liberty to discuss that outside of the closed room, but yes, you're not the only ones, and it's not just Senia.
I hope Wraith is okay. Yeah.
So I've been asked to fetch you. I've of course notified you. If you just follow us, I'll be with Heat Vandam, the individual that you saw previously, and I'll be escorting you to the joint debrief.
Excellent. Thank you, Sagan.
Who told Sagan I could talk to plants?
That was me.
No secrets from the brother. I was going to say little brother, but I don't know if I'm younger than you or not.
No, I'm probably still. I don't know.
Mhm.
How old are you?
I'm 25.
Yeah, you're older.
Okay.
I'm 595.
You're
Show off.
still older than me.
Solanthe years.
He's an antique.
Yeah, what is that in Earth years? I don't think Electrum is that old.
3.
44.
Yeah, exactly. 3.
Yeah.
Oh, your planet goes really fast around your sun.
He uses dog ears.
So, yeah,
How old
go
are
ahead.
you, Ixion?
Hyperion just waits for everyone to gather around him, and then heads along with Sagan to the debrief.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at that point, the other parties, anybody who wants to stay at the party can. Obviously, that's for people who don't have the security clearance. When all of you, including Heat Phantom, come walking into the room, you guys have been here before. This is actually, you've had some conversations with President Albrecht in here. It's your typical meeting room that they would use for debriefing. It's got monitors to pull information up on. It has the table itself. Looks a lot like the MCP from Tron. So it's this big desk with kind of a glass covering over it. It's got a monitor that sits on there that you touch screen that you can bring information up or slide it across. President Albrecht is also is in there. Senator Miles Barrett comes in, as well as some costume individuals you don't recognize. One of which, Lightbringer, you just met, Gunmetal Silk. You guys heard the description. Another individual, very clearly from Japan, can't miss it because he looks like a high-tech samurai. Nobody has sat just yet, but everybody's coming in and finding spots. They have a seat near where Legacy is sitting, specifically for Heat Phantom. And then there's another individual who comes in, who's in kind of a mix of your typical like special ops gear sort of thing. Basically kind of like Captain America from the first movie. Like he had somewhat of a uniform, but it was very functional. Like it had the belts and it had, it didn't look as 80s prime, the big, Buccaneer gloves sort of look. It wasn't over the top. It was way more subdued and looking very functional. Doesn't have like
No
a helmet
capes.
on though. And no capes.
Okay. Yeah.
So as everybody is coming in, President Albrecht starts making the introductions. He says, I would like to thank all of you for coming today. We have Senator Miles Barrett from the United States. Some of you may know him. He is currently very heavily involved in their superpower being initiative within the United States and has been very pro-deviant in the past. So we welcome him here for the first time to New Prussia. He says, standing in for our new friends from South Korea, the leader of the Taeguk Sentinels. This is Gunmetal Silk. Then he motions to the man that I just described, and he says, some of you may know him, some of you may not. This is the leader of the European Union Superhero Initiative. This is Eisenfast. And then he says, and the very noticeably Japanese individual is actually from Stormfront, Japan. This is Daimyo. And so he kind of gives a polite bow. And if I could, and then introduces obviously the Legacy individually. He says, if I can have everybody take a seat. This is what we hope to be one of many joint debriefs where we can share what intelligence that we might have gleaned and can likewise receive reciprocal information so that our countries can act in one accord in the future to help better assist global stability, but also monitor potential troubled hotspots. And he says, be that at our back door or around the world. And he says, so our first order of business, he begins to discuss the situation within Moldova and Transnistria. He says, as you can imagine, with the collapse of the Russian Federation, Transnistria had been held in a sort of trust by Russian military forces as to hold on to the breakaway region from Moldova. However, with the Russian Federation now having collapsed, they have become in essence, the commanding officer has proclaimed himself a warlord and the true heir to the Russian government, which is similar statements that some of the other breakaway governments and regions within the former Russian Federation are matching. What makes this particularly troublesome is their previous deviant tracking and SPB, or it's not tracking, but their deviant and SPB trafficking, which, given the circumstances, will likely not only continue but flourish, given their now lack of oversight. We do anticipate there being a brief limitation in this running back and forth, but once things around the world begin to settle, this is probably going to pick back up in earnest very quickly and very heavily. We do anticipate, we will touch on this later on, but we do anticipate China being one of the largest buyers. And of course, you see from it kind of a surprise from Eisenfist, Faust. However, Daimyo and Gunmetal Silk kind of like nod and look across from one another like suspicions confirmed sort of thing. And so he goes into into that bit. He leaves most of Europe alone because obviously they know, as well as the United States, they should know what their situation is. He then goes, he's pulling up some pictures, to share. He says, now because we have, had contact with this nation, we wanted to also share with you what has happened in Argentina since the Skyfall War. He says, we have been able to confirm that the Nazi remnant controlled government was dismantled. From our understanding, most officials were executed, imprisoned, or have fled. The United Nations did attempt to prop up a new government prior to the Skyfall War. The Skyfall War, however, shattering all global order, trapped what United Peacekeeping Forces had been in Argentina. Currently, what remains of the government is a weak provisional federal leadership. They are struggling to reassert control over the fractured nation. From what we can tell, provinces like Buenos Aires, Cordoba, and Santa Fe are still functioning, but outlying regions suffer from warlordism, criminal syndicates, and surviving rogue military units. The Argentine military is a shell of its former self. It is barely able to enforce national laws, which is now leaving a power vacuum in multiple regions. Our understanding that the Aegis Foundation maintains a small advisory presence, but given their limited resources, they're not going to be able to control the entirety of the country. We can report that corruption still persists, with surviving remnants of pre-war police, with the surviving remnants of the pre-war police state exerting influences in the shadows. So we have confirmed that Buenos Aires and key urban centers remain under the control of a provisional government, but law and order is fragile. Western Argentina, Mendoza, and San Juan are starting to see cartel influence growing because of the weakened federal oversight. Northern regions such as Chaco and Misiones have become a battleground for rogue military factions, criminal syndicate, and local militias. We expect this only to grow in the near future. Southern Argentina, however, is a bit of an anomaly. It remains largely independent, ruled by a mix of local governance, military holdouts, and private security firms. We also believe that it is possible, although we have not been able to confirm, that in some of the more rural, even potential northern sections of the country, don't quote us on this, but we are being led to believe that Duridians stranded on the planet are posting up and potentially making their own strongholds to defend themselves. We can also confirm that deviants that remain are now in hiding once again. So efforts are being made to try and identify them and allow them to immigrate elsewhere, be they here or someplace safer. That, of course, was a surprise to most everybody there. He says, we can also confirm that... oops, let me get this pulled up here. He says, of Eastern Europe, we can confirm Belarus has now found itself in a particularly precarious situation. Without its Russian subsidies and military protection, the president is struggling to maintain power. Opposition movements, long suppressed, are gaining momentum and pushing Belarus to either democratic reforms or violent civil unrest. Our nation has already moved to assist those people of Belarus, given that they are our direct neighbors, and I am happy to announce that I and our nation and our allies have recently signed documentation to now form the Eastern European Trade Bloc, which is specifically going to be encompassing Belarus and unifying our collective trade power, which is actually a surprise to everyone at the table at that point. And he says, this is not our attempts at some sort of hegemony or power, reaching for more power. This was mostly out of practicality. If we did not do something for Belarus now, they would have become an immediate threat on our border, and none of our allies were ready to deal with that, given the ongoing problems within Russia. And specifically, he says this is not about conquest, nor is it about isolation. This is about forging a future where our nations can stand strong, not through opposition, but through cooperation. We've all suffered, but will not let our past define our future. We are also now announcing that we are assisting the Ukraine with additional cleanup efforts and policing efforts, as they are extremely concerned about potential issues with the splinter regions of the former Russian Federation. They also have concerns at potential breakaway states within their own country. I would imagine that NATO is going to be looking into this to some degree. And then he looks at Eisenfaust and the senator, and he says, and we welcome any dialogue or discussion that that particular party wishes to have. And they're like kind of making some notes. He says, now on to the topic that I believe everybody is the most interested in at this point. He says that is China. We have almost 100% reason to believe that with the collapse of China, China has now been making moves to consolidate North Korea and parts of parts of the of Russia that mirror its borders. We are also strongly under the assumption that they are going to either attempt to flex political control over Mongolia and Kazakhstan, or they could install puppet governments. And of course, at this point, everybody is kind of looking around to one another, which is as alarming as it might sound. We anticipate that China is going to be far less reliant on Western trade and far more focused on regional economies, which, again, should alarm the United States because they could quickly become the next superpower within the next 10 years, if not less. We can confirm that Beijing did take quite a bit of damage, as did Hong Kong, but they have been able to recover. We'll give them credit and say rapidly, given the circumstances. And we also believe that is partly because they may have been admitting certain key scientists from the Ubari. And for those of you who are unaware, the Ubari are another alien race that had been hiding in here, largely, we believe, in diaspora, in an effort to help them with their own wars against our new Tavaxian allies. We have it on good authority from our direct intelligence agencies that China has now developed what they call the Iron Unity Doctrine. And this doctrine apparently focuses on mass surveillance, deviant conscription, and aggressive economic expansion. We are aware that they not only have their own superhuman team, which, from my understanding, some of you may have already encountered. He kind of looks towards Gunmetal Silk and Daimyo. They both, of course, nod. Just let me get this through. He says, on to and with that, on to North Korea. As their only capital was Pyongyang, and their only hope of surviving had been Russian weapons and subsidies, they are now 100% reliant upon China. And they have, from our understanding, China has taken control of their existing military, their industry, and potential deviant population. We don't know what that is because of its communist nature and the government. It's been difficult to get that information out of, but it is not zero. The concern here is that now that North Korea has essentially capitulated to China, and at that point, Gunmetal Silk kind of looks up and says, that puts China at our doorstep. And he says, that is correct. Which obviously changes the dynamic on the eastern seaboard of Asia. We can confirm that not everything is bright and sunny for China, as they are in they're still struggling to feed their people currently, but we also anticipate that, given that a lot of their area is rural and not hit, to be something that they can recover from. Then he pulls up another slide, or not slide, but like imagery on the monitor and whatnot. Where's that? I know I had it because I developed it. Well, that sucks. Let's go down here. I wonder if I left it and didn't actually pull it out. Okay, yeah. Pardon me, 1 second.
You getting all this, Dale?
Dale, you're muted.
Yeah, enough, enough. I think, yeah, for there to be notes.
So during the pause moments and stuff, Sean's going to lean over to Lightbringer and kind of whisper to her, "Have you heard anything from Sledgehammer?"
Yeah, I got myself a new phone and I called him yesterday, and she's gonna make sure her voice is low.
Yeah.
Do I have communicators?
Yeah.
You do, but nothing like you'd have to speak to, telepathically if you're going to be quiet.
Oh, okay.
So I did. I just didn't copy it down.
He went to Senya to help out with Wraith, so he's okay. Wraith is okay too, but there's interesting things going on there.
I haven't heard from Megalith, so I was kind of hoping that maybe Sledgehammer knew something.
I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe we can get some news of what's happened in Strongford.
And so he pulls up, obviously, a map of Senya, before and after. And he says, he says, there's no way to really beat around the bush about this. The fall of the Senian government was swift, brutal, and absolute. Key officials fled the island, escaping to rogue states, criminal networks, or deep underground in a manner reminiscent of Nazi war criminals post-World War II. He says, from our understanding, Interpol, the UN, and various other intelligence agencies, such as the CIA, MI6, China's MSS, even our own Aether Corps, are now hunting these fugitives, aiming to prevent their resurfacing in global power struggles. He says, Senya itself is in ruins. The infrastructure, once powered by deviant slave labor, has collapsed. The economy is in free fall. The entire industries have shut down. And some of Senya's most dangerous tech and research, including genetic experiments, cybernetics, and powered armor schematics, seem to have gone missing, which means they're likely ending up on the black market, which is, there's collective groans and sighs at that point of like, crap. This is going to get worse. So at this point, President Albrecht says, we have been able to confirm that there is no functioning economy. With the slave labor gone, mining, agriculture, and industry have collapsed. Electricity and water supply is intermittent, with urban areas struggling to maintain public services. Ports and airports shut down, leaving supply chains fractured and emergency relief bottlenecked. As we indicated, of course, there is some missing. There are confirmed missing pieces of technology. We are actively attempting to hunt these down. And he looks directly at this, at the senator, and he says, "We would appreciate any assistance we can obtain through the United States, and we, of course, will reciprocate. This technology can't make its way out into the public like this." Now, they did say, he does say that there is mass violence and retributions. There are problems with free deviants that they have begun taking vengeance, hunting down former slave owners, Human Defense Authority officers, and Purity Command officials. Lynchings, executions, and riots have swept the streets, and many innocent civilians have been caught in the crossfire. He says, "We are aware that the UN is there, but they're struggling to prevent a full-scale genocide, with its forces under constant attack from both revenge-seeking deviants and nationalist Senian holdouts." So obviously, we have concerns about the Senian, the island nation of Senia being fractured, and factions forming therein. We don't have a complete intel breakdown there, but we will be looking into that, given the degree of danger that this nation poses to the world right now. So from our understanding, the United States, or not the United States, but the United Nations has partnered with Japan, the Philippines, and the European Union are leading a military and humanitarian stabilization effort. But peacekeeping operations are being met with resistance from all sides. The UN has begun war crimes tribunals, issuing international warrants for high-profile Senian war criminals. And there are some rumors, in addition to food shortages and problems receiving medical supplies, that there are some deviant groups that are actively rejecting UN help, seeing them as complicit in the global anti-deviant policies. So clearly, there's a lot of work to be done politically, visibly, as well as boots on the ground. From what we can tell, 2 to 3 million deviants are now free, but not all of them trust the UN or foreign governments. We believe that some have formed underground resistance movements, or they fled the country entirely. We are aware of growing deviant movements that are demanding full control of Senia, while others want peaceful coexistence. So this is obviously going to be a very messy exchanging of power.
Lightbringer's going to raise her hand.
Yes, Lightbringer.
Do you know what happened with their national super team?
From our understanding, they're in the wind. We found records that indicated that they were there, but it seems like once the fighting began close to home, rather than stand their ground, when they realized the nation was about to topple, they fled. We are looking for them. We just don't know where they're at currently.
Okay.
We have found that there are 3 key factions right now in Senia. The Blood Debt, which is a new faction, a very violent faction that's hunting down former Senia elites and executing them without trial. There's the Free Senia Front, or FSF, They seem to be the ones that were that outside assistance has been welcome to. They're a peaceful, deviant, and human coalition trying to build a new nation. We're hoping the United Nations is able to work more with them. We are already trying to establish a network connection with them, but we'll see where that goes. And we have also heard of the Black Halo Syndicate, which is a deviant-led criminal empire clearly looking to profit from the chaos. I am obviously not going to discuss the elephant in the room, which is the Dravixium mines. That is something that is going to need to be dealt with at a higher level, clearly. So I'm not going to explain too much there. I can actually just deal directly with the leaders of the nations to see if there's something that can be done. But we are concerned that China and their allies may attempt to install a puppet government in an effort to take over the mines, which absolutely cannot happen. And we also know at this point, given that the mines are not guarded as well as they should be, and the nation is in free fall, you can't expect your enemies, such as some of these fractured nation states of Russia, Iran, potentially even North Korea, or even criminal syndicates, are going to start coming up with Dravixium, which is extremely dangerous. Beyond that, what we have been able to confirm is that the resistance had been led by a precious few who apparently had remained. It looks like the World War II heroes, Captain Battle, along with Pat Patriot, partnered with an American hero by the name of Wraith, and they attempted to rally and hold off the Senian government just before the war. They brought in the assistance of another American hero by the name of Sledgehammer, and believe it or not, the villain by the name of Bitter Shadow. I don't know what has become of them since. But that is the breakdown as we see it thus far in hotspots around the world.
Question, President Albrecht, has there been any indication as to a priority schedule as far as what to deal with first with everything that's just been outlined here?
Out of character, how do you mean?
Like as far as what to deal with first, second, third, what's like the most pressing matter to deal with amongst all these different things that have just been presented?
He says, "Oh, okay."
It's clearly
our priority currently
figuring out the whereabouts of Sledgehammer.
Yes. He says currently Senia is taking the bulk of our focus. We obviously can't turn our eyes away from China, which is going to be the immediate problem. But with the lawlessness in Senia and the Dravixium mines being wide open, that anyone could attempt to pilfer it as of this point, that has to be project number one. Not only does that pose a threat to the entirety of the world, it poses a threat to the galaxy as a whole, because we have no idea what sort of aliens are going to show up to attempt to extract their own pound of flesh from that. And we don't need any more outside guests as of this point. Did that answer your question?
It actually did. I appreciate that. And in case it has been discussed, or if it hasn't been discussed yet, if any teams are going to be created to be sent to Senia to deal with the various issues there, on behalf of the Legacy, I'd like to offer our assistance, especially, whether that's to help rebuild infrastructure, trying to reduce crime, anything that you need us for, we can be there.
So Eisenfaust, steps up and says, "We would like to be of assistance in this particular matter, but we have several burning issues closer to home. Obviously, logistically, we are happy to assist, but we wish to make our presence known that our charter is one in which does not allow us to stray far from the European Union. They desire us to focus more on home-based problems. We will, however, share intelligence on any sort of deviant or superpowered being trafficking, as that is very clearly a concern that all of us do share." Gunmetal Silk and Daimyo, however, stand up and say, "We are already assisting in this region, as it is very close to our backyard, but we welcome any additional assistance."
This becomes a much greater issue once you realize that any small organization, if they withdraw resources from these mines, brings them to a much higher level of threat to all of us, compounding the problems that we are currently facing.
That is correct. It is essentially a free-for-all nuclear struggle, where the energy and boost that this Dravixium gives an individual doesn't need a massive silo to house it in.
I'm gonna lean into Lightbringer and I'm gonna say, didn't you should you maybe share the thing that you made? Do you think that might help with kind of making this Dravixium stuff not seem as scary if there is a way to counter it?
I'm not sure if we should share it just yet. There are a lot of implications. It's kind of like the invention of the atom bomb. I think I'd like to have a private, maybe our team should have a private discussion with my grandfather about that.
All right.
He says, "Were there any other questions?" And of course, they eventually all kind of shake their heads or look around. And he says, "Very well then. Thank you all for hearing me out and the potential future discussions that all of us will have. If you are needing to leave, we have agents that can take you to your shuttle to get you back to the runway so that you can leave unmolested from any other potential news media or paparazzi." And you see Gunmetal Silk basically go like, "Signed, thank you," sort of thing.
Excellent. So then, since if everybody's like getting up to mingle to start making their way out of the room, he's gonna hover over to the rest of the team, assuming we're all kind of sitting near to each other, and goes, Well, we may want to discuss then some of this information that we have with regard to Lightbringer's invention dealing with Dravixium. We can either discuss that directly with your grandfather now, or wait until we meet our new individual.
And Lightbringer's pocket starts to ring. Beedly beep, beedly beep, beedly beep,
I'm gonna
beedly beep, beedly beep, beedly beep.
apologize that I forgot to turn the ringer off, and I'll just check it so that I can get ready to silence it.
Okay. You don't recognize the actually no, you do recognize the phone number. It says Haven Institute.
Oh. I will answer it.
Okay.
Say, hello?
Can I speak to Lightbringer, please?
May I ask who's calling?
Hi. I don't know if you remember me. You may have seen me in passing. My name's Pound Cake.
Pound cake.
Oh,
It's your niece.
hi. I'm glad to hear your voice. Are you guys doing okay?
Yeah. No, we're doing fine. I was just calling to make sure you're okay. I hadn't seen anything from the news in a bit.
Yeah, it's been busy.
Sorry, Miss McCall had your number and she told me it was okay to call. I don't know like where you're at, and I don't even know how you had a phone on you. Did you have like one of those like new cell phone things?
Yeah,
Oh, those are amazing. You've got all the
It's-
cool stuff.
it's pretty neat. Yeah, hey, I'm in the middle of some meetings, or between some meetings right now. When would be a good time for me to call you back and we can catch up?
Oh, it's like I don't know what time it is right there for you, but it's like pretty like early here, so I think I'll be good the rest of the day.
Okay. I'll give you a call back in a little while.
Okay.
Tell everyone I said hi.
Okay, yeah, I know. I will. Good luck with whatever you're
And-
doing.
And don't give out this number, okay?
Oh no! No, I never.
Great. Perfect. Thanks. She'll hang up
Okay.
and just kind of like, huh.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, it was a student of Miss McCall's. Pound Cake, do you remember her?
I
course.
remember pound cake.
Yeah.
How's she doing?
She's fine.
That's
In the
good.
2 minutes that we caught up, but yeah, apparently Meredith gave her my number, so yeah. Anyway, where were we?
So, trying to decide if we should have a
Oh, yeah.
discussion with your grandfather regarding the new capability we have against Dravixium,
What
since that seems to be
is-
important.
What are your thoughts on the matter?
On the one hand, Dravixium is one of the most important materials on our world, and would seem even throughout the galaxy. It is something that primarily helped the Dexmite Empire become what it is because of how extremely strong and versatile it is. But at the same time, we've seen how it can be easily used against everyone. to have some sort of counter to it, which we technically now do have, could be very beneficial. Do you think it would be used in some terrible manner?
I think there's definitely the possibility, even just to sabotage efforts.
Well, but
Um,
I'm sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say that but as long as there's the idea that Dravixium is this like unbeatable, powerful weapon, if there is no known counter for it, it's just going to make it seem like a tastier plum to the people that do want to use it or do want to come to Earth to mine it. Like if there is a weakness to it that is known, even if it's not an easily made one, it'll definitely make it seem less less attractive to the people that are looking for an almighty super weapon. It certainly helped me.
Do you think we should talk to Senator Barrett about possible implications? I mean, it's definitely a advanced military secret at this point.
Well, I actually have a question because I didn't really think about this, but like, what else is this just is the your countermeasure? Is it only for Dravixium, or does it affect other stuff too? Or
Jerome, can I roll reason to answer that question?
Yep.
Yellow.
Alrighty. Your reason tells you that it is an industrial grade acid.
So anything that's, so it would definitely work against normal
Oh, yes.
things that acid work against.
Oh, yes.
It's like xenomorph blood.
okay, are we as worried about this being weaponized in like is the danger of this thing being falling into the wrong hands, is it worse than Dravixium or continuing to be the threat that it is?
I don't know.
I worry that as long as this stuff is still the this like icon of power, that my my home country won't ever stop being a war zone.
We can at least have this discussion with multiple leaders, such as Senator Barrett and President Albrecht, and at least perhaps float the idea of creating a counter to it, what the implications would be, and if their analysis says that it would be a definite net benefit to have such a thing, we can then reveal that we have such a thing.
Perhaps we should speak with President Albert first
Exactly.
Have the
before
other
we talk to the
countries
senator.
have the other countries, or has the United States, for that matter, been able to effectively and efficiently refine the metal or manipulate it?
That
It
would
was-
be a question for the senator.
Isn't that what the Senians were doing? Their tech was using this stuff too. If the plans are leaking out into the black market, like they say, then that might come sooner for other people.
Speaking of the black market and the technology disappearing, was I the only one that thought of mainframe?
I haven't
No.
thought about mainframe in a while.
That's something I actually need to discuss with the rest of you soon, but probably not at this time. I have a slight bit of information regarding him.
Because my suspicion would be he's the one that has the restolen technology.
He could be one possible culprit, but any nation would want the Senian trade secrets of how to mine and refine that metal.
Still can't believe he went from coffee maker to worldwide villain.
Well, yes, everybody eventually wants a job upgrade.
So you were saying that we had a new relation.
Yeah, should we handle that first before talking to president or the senator?
I think we should say hi first. Yeah.
I think so. Just so that way, if we do have the talk with everybody afterwards, they, we don't have to fill them in afterwards. Let's bring them in sooner rather than later.
Okay, so I guess I'll. Is he still in the room?
Ooh,
Phantom Ghost.
no, there's no
Heat Phantom.
Heat
Heat
Phantom.
yes.
Yes. Space Ghost.
Yes, exactly.
He passed away.
Coast to coast.
Space Ghost is awesome.
R.I.P. George Lowe.
Yes, I was so sad.
So I'll go ahead and wave him over, and say, let's find a private room to speak, or the private room that I've arranged for.
Isn't this a private room? Like, haven't the other dignitaries left?
Once everybody leaves, yeah, you could just hang out
Yeah.
and have a chat.
Okay.
Yeah, Sean will reach out and shake his hand. Hey, I'm Sean.
It is a privilege to meet you. I'm a great fan.
Oh, well, I have a fan.
Hello, Heat Phantom. Yeah, again, shakes your hand.
Hello as well.
Do
we
you
Are we
need
still dressed in
introductions?
our alternate identities? So are we still our superhero identities
Yeah,
right
you
now?
still use superhero
Yeah.
identities. Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'm Lightbringer. This is Red Arsenal,
Pleasure to meet you, and he'll extend a hand.
Xenofreeze. You met Chone and Pulsar, and Hyperion, who's our leader, which I'm sure you already knew.
Pleasure to meet you, Heat Phantom.
Hyperion, how do you want to approach this?
Well,
Has
Heat
it been
Phantom.
confirmed with our technology?
What?
Technology?
This is apparently information provided to us by New Prussian scientists. I doubt our technology would surpass theirs when it comes to this.
I
Well-
hope you're not saying that I am sick. I've been concerned this whole time.
Well,
No.
that's only perspective, I suppose.
Far.
A unique interpretation. In the traditional sense, no.
It's
How-
In the
hereditary.
metaphorical sense, remains to be
Perhaps.
seen.
Yeah.
You are a deviant, am I correct?
Yes. Yes, I
You are aware that the deviant gene is obviously that genetic. You received that genetic makeup from one of your parents.
Yes, my mother.
Your mother. Are
Do
you
you,
how have you determined of that? Is she also a deviant?
Yes.
Did you know your father?
No, I've never met him. Mother kicked him out when I was still in her womb.
That sounds familiar.
That, yeah.
Mother's a smart woman.
do you know anything about him?
Nothing beyond my mother's colloquialisms, I think is the word that I would use to describe him.
Shadow. My goodness.
Wow.
That was
Next time I'll hold that
that was
in.
a hot rod going down the
Yeah,
street.
they say it sounded like a car.
Right.
This was my life.
That was
One
Shadow
finally
driving
made
a
it through.
hot rod down the street.
You're right. Well, Heat Phantom, I take it then you at least know that there is some sort of genetic information that you need to be made aware of, and we've been alluding to it in a minor sense here. Apparently, you know your mother, which is excellent, but you don't know your father. And what we're here to tell you today is that
Well,
we
my
know
mother
who...
says that is excellent as well, that I don't know him.
Well, what Hyperion's trying to say is that you're a brother from another mother.
Yes. Essentially, you are our sibling. Everyone within the legacy shares the same father. Our father is yours, and our father is Electrum. Have you ever heard of him before?
I do not think there is anyone who has not heard of him, but this, what you say is it does not seem possible. I mean,
We can prove it through genetics.
I know it's a lot to take in.
It doesn't change anything about you. Keep that in mind. You're still the person you are. You still have the values you hold. It's just it's just a genetic postcard.
You are who you make yourself to be, not who you come from.
I am not conflicted. I am merely saying she is blonde, he is brown hair, he is no hair.
And I'm from a totally different reality.
And I look like metallic. I look like liquid mercury.
You could say that I am an Egyptian goddess. We're all different.
I believe that is exactly what I was saying. There is no family resemblance here. And yet you say we.
Daddy liked to get around.
She's the only one who calls him daddy.
The confusion is understandable. It's excellent that you have at least a basic understanding of genetics and see the inconsistency there. The thing is, we know that Electrum was at least partially Dexamite in origin. Have you ever heard of the Dexamites?
I can neither confirm nor deny any knowledge or information about a term such as Dexamite.
Kind of an
Understandable.
interesting answer.
In case you're unaware, we'll simply explain that they are a race of beings that are now effectively extinct, but they used to be an interstellar species. extraordinarily powerful genetically, and technologically, and societally. They had actually colonized many different planets throughout the galaxy, including, to a degree, humanity. And it would seem that some of that genetics had been passed down throughout humanity, leading to many deviants that exist today. Electrum seemingly being one of them. He himself is a long-lived individual. As far as we know, he is still alive, but incommunicado for reasons we may go into with you later. But for now, all you need to know to understand is Dexamite genetics were extraordinarily advanced, and it would seem that Dexamites were capable of actually procreating with other races, or at least Electrum was capable of doing this. You will notice that there are many differences here, and clearly the difference with me being that I wasn't born, but he was an actual co-creator of mine. He is a parent to everyone here, although not one who was present for, again, reasons we'll go into later. But the differences in genetics are because of the special genetics that he possessed. Does that make sense?
It would, coming from any other individual, but where you don't seem to be, as you say, born, you use the word created. How do the genetics apply to you and me similarly?
In that way, honestly, you and I don't have a genetic relationship. I possess no genetics to speak of. However, he did create me along with another who I could call a mother. Dr. Rostenkowski, actually. Have you met her?
I have not.
I personally was a project based off of Dexamite technology. He would be considered a co-creator or father of mine. So the sibling label is loosely used with regard to me, but effectively, you and everyone else here are genetically related through Electrum.
We don't see Hyperion as anything else but our brother.
Mm.
It doesn't matter if he's got blood running through him or circuitry. He is our family.
This is, of course, a lot of information to take in all of a sudden, and clearly not expected. If you have any questions, please ask. We'll do what we can to answer them as fully as possible for you.
And trust me, you're not the first one to react this way.
Yeah.
It's quite confusing at first to find out that you are not an only child.
It, well, growing up, knowing you obviously have a father, but knowing nothing about him, you envision, you know,
Mm-hmm.
such heights of possibility of who he is, the hero, the the astronaut, uh, the crime syndicate leader. It is a discovery of the imagination to figure out or um, try to understand who you might be. But I had certainly not considered Electrum to be the one. Uh, and to find that he well, some of you look older than me, and some of you may not be such old as me. To know that he slept around so much explains why my mother kicked him out. So to say I am less impressed now with Electrum is, I suppose, realistic. And knowing that there are others who have similar understandings of their father, I suppose you could say join the club.
You're actually
But
taking this quite well.
Oh, I am sure I will have much shock, but this is like major battle. You know, the adrenaline kicks in. You fight your way through it, and then in the end, you take a nap for 3 days.
Yeah.
But
So that's
what does this mean for me? And I mean, am I on the Christmas card list or?
This would mean at least two things. One, if you didn't feel that you had family beyond your mother before, now you know otherwise. You have family to call upon. Second, as you've already been made aware, all of us, a part of the legacy, are effectively siblings. Therefore, I believe it's safe to say that we would welcome you as a member of the legacy, should you choose to join. Of course, you don't have to answer right away. Perhaps you'd like to know what we do, know what we're like before you make a decision. But the offer would stand.
7 is a lucky number.
Yeah.
So that's our big secret. We're
Ixion's looking at
legacy
Sean
is-
like, what?
the legacy is meant to be Electrum's legacy. That's the reason that we were collected and formed this team, was to fill the void left by his mysterious absence.
She's going to lean over to Ixion and say, I'll take you to Vegas later and show you.
You guys think Vegas is still around?
Very well.
I suppose I am flattered, but I do not know. I have responsibility in the military. I can't just choose to walk away. I mean, it is something. Channels, I think, is the word that must be applied here. I must go through channels before I know if I could join you or not. But it is between the intelligence reports I received and the viral videos, it is an honor, I suppose.
Well, on one hand, we do happen to know the president, and we happen to have a connection to him immediately, and I kind of indicate towards Lightbringer.
You turn yourself into like an arrow.
Right. Her.
A blinking one.
Yeah, so now you know.
So it's up to you to figure out if it's a cancer or not.
So you're saying it is a tumor?
No.
No, it's not. It's not. Not the
It's
tumor.
not a tumor.
It's a possibly dubious honor.
I think it means good company. I don't. I have my reservations about whether I still believe if Electrum is my, because I have parents. I still have human parents, so I don't know where he falls into my family line. But regardless of my feelings about Electrum, these people are good company.
Speaking of your parents, now that we know that Senia is falling apart, it is important that we go get your parents as soon as possible.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
we'll be in Senia here shortly. It sounds like that's priority number one.
Well, Hyperion, with your permission, I would like to go with Pulsar and make this priority number one before the other priority number one happens. Perhaps Aegis can help us shelter them.
I don't know where my parents are though.
Well,
That's the thing is
you know where they were living. We can
my
pop over.
my parents were slaves. They were deviant slaves. We would
Oh,
listen. Yeah, they had powers I seemingly didn't. So I was yeah, my
Do you not
that
have
I do
plants
not
in
know.
Senia?
what was that, Lightbringer?
Do you not have plants?
Plants. Well, you never think to talk to plants when you don't think like, you know what, I just wonder if this is an ability I have. But they do the scans of you, I guess, to figure out whether or not you're a deviant, and I came up not. But
Oh, interesting.
yeah, but I guess maybe talking to plants just didn't warrant anything.
Maybe
Just
Wasn't-
it's
seeing.
maybe it was a
wasn't
latent ability.
didn't we out of character knowledge, didn't we've never confirmed that Pulsar was a sibling, because when we admitted him, we said we were under the impression that he wasn't, and we just said the legacy does not necessarily mean that it is only that, it is those who stand for the same things.
Out of character, we did scan his
Did
DNA
we?
actually and
Yeah.
confirm that he is
Yeah.
actually a
Oh, he is? Okay, I
Yeah.
couldn't remember if it was something like that, because
You
I just
scanned him
remember
with the
Because
Maury
I think
Povich
you
gun.
were part of it.
Yeah.
Part of that
It's-
revelation.
Yeah, well,
Electrum is the father.
disagree. Well, yeah, because a lot of my powers are not from my deviant self. It's from the suit. But
that's right.
yeah.
You do
I
seem to be a
wonder-
special case. You were given that enhancement. Oh, yes, like
Yeah, sure.
I wonder if, I could call Sledge before we head over there. I could call him and see if Wraith has any way to track down slaves, and maybe we can get an investigation started before we get out.
Brittany, you're breaking up audio wise.
Yeah, you sound like Hyperion.
So I
when
don't
he
I
has a
don't know
glitch.
if it's too much going on in the background on your PC.
Let
It's
me
not
drop-
it's not your connection per se. It's just
Yeah, I don't know.
Shadow, what are you doing?
Shadow
We
think
do-
that-
He's
Maybe she's
shopping.
Chewing on the
Ethernet.
Ethernet cord, yeah.
Yeah.
I know this
It's like,
may...
Mom, you've been gone all day and now you left me out of the room.
Right.
Have at it. Okay, so maybe I could contact Sledge and see if Wraith has a way of tracking down your parents, and we can get that investigation going before we even hit the ground.
We may even have a more direct solution, a technological one. Seeing as how at least one of Pulsar's parents would likely share at least half of his DNA, we can provide that information to Helios, and then he can use the tracker satellites around Senia to see
Oh,
if
yeah.
she can be found directly.
I was about to say which parent.
Oh, we find Electrum. He's been in Senia the whole time, coconut in hand.
Yeah, it's
My
dad.
die.
His dad
Chilling.
is The dad that raised him is actually Electrum. He just didn't know it.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Yeah. Thanks, Dad. Didn't help nobody.
That would explain why we haven't seen him, is because he's been a slave.
Wouldn't
Somehow.
that be something?
I was always wondering why my dad had a big E on his chest.
I thought it was just like the Scarlet Letter or something, you know.
Yeah.
E is
Oh, I
bad.
thought it meant. I thought. It
I thought
stood for
the
ego.
I thought the E was the Sinian word for slave.
We should probably talk to the president now.
Yeah.
Heat Phantom, would you mind joining us as we discuss this information with President Albrecht?
I would not mind if, as long as I am allowed by my government.
Of course.
Which government are you a part of, by the way? If you can say.
A New Prussian.
New
He's New
Prussia.
Prussian.
Okay. Well, it isn't. But okay, sorry. When you said I was like the new Albert's the president of New Prussia. So I was like, oh, maybe you're a different government. But yeah.
No, I'm just saying I have commanders. I have to listen to their orders.
Chain of command. Understandable.
Well,
Let me see if he's available. And I will send a. Oh, Jerome is missing.
yeah.
Heat Phantom, what are your powers? Do a flip and show us what you can do.
Put you in a fishbowl and poke at you.
Jerome, I'm gonna send a mental message to
Grampy.
his name Tarek? The
Terrius?
president's secretary. Yeah, Terrius. President's secretary.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll?
No.
Okay.
To answer your question, I wish to make it sound much more grandiose so that I may look big in your eyes. But I am able to accelerate the molecules of my body to travel distances at speed as well as execute activities much faster, as well as I believe it is linked to the same thing that I am able to perceive variations of heat and detect them over time in its dissipation from these materials. I believe this is also part of the acceleration of the molecules of the body and perceiving the individual molecules as they dissipate from the surfaces of the surroundings.
Interesting.
That's
Very-
awesome.
Very cool.
And you don't have to worry about trying to be cool with us. My power is talking to plants. So anything you can do is awesome and cool.
Pulsar is, of course, selling himself short, as he tends
Yes,
to
he
do.
is.
He is more capable than that. But
I mean, I've seen the footage of you slugging Pimplehead in the mouth.
Yeah, but that's this suit. Also I don't look like this. I do look like a person, I swear.
Oh,
But-
do you want to power down?
Sure, and I'll like kind of retract the helmet piece so you can see my very human Senian face. Yeah, the suit gives me power. the suit is what won the fight. I'm just I'm just driving a really
Yeah.
nice car.
No.
But
A-
yeah,
a
but you
suit-
didn't have the suit the entire time. I've seen a lot of the footage.
Also, a suit is only as capable as the person piloting it.
Yes.
Exactly.
Don't you're more than the suit.
I mean, if the suit leaves me, I'll just be the guy who talks to plants. But I appreciate the
You
The-
know, I knowing that you are Electrum's child, I just kind of wonder if maybe your deviant powers have not all surfaced yet. And perhaps the suit has kept them from surfacing.
It's an interesting idea.
I mean, I got the suit very shortly before I met you guys.
Pulsar, you hear? Psst. Hey, over here. So as you start looking around, you see that there's a potted plant at the far end of the room.
Let me kind of look.
The secrets they could tell.
Yeah. I'll go. What do you want?
Whoa, you weren't kidding. You can talk to me?
Yeah, yeah, I could talk to you.
That's wild.
you-
Hey, can you move me into the other room?
Sure. Hold on, Lightbringer. Is it cool if I move that plant to another room?
Sure.
Okay. I don't know if there's like any security clearance, but yeah, the plant wants to be moved to another room.
Did it tell you what
And he
room?
says he's in need of a little bit of an iron supplement.
Oh, it needs some of that gray liver sludge. Yeah, but I'll look to Heat Phantom and say, yeah, this is the apex of my power as I lift up the plant and carry it into another room.
Okay.
You are the savior of plants.
So as you go walking by, he's like, "Can you like angle me towards the window so I can get some sun?"
Sure. Yeah, there's a window in the next room. You're a lot nicer than the other plants I've talked to.
So do you do this often?
No, I talked to some trees once for information. They were kind of sarcastic and mean.
Oh, well, yeah. You know that's where the joke "get off my lawn" came from, right? Because they're old, they're cranky.
Wait, hold on. So trees came up with that joke?
Yeah.
How did it make its way out of like tree language?
Pollen?
Duh.
Circle
Oh,
of
right.
life. Circle
Of course.
of life.
Wait, so does that mean that trees are influencing our thoughts with pollen?
Some of them are.
So the
Let's not even get started on the bees.
So the Flonase conspiracy was right.
And he says, so you've already gathered what my job is. It's kind of boring, but I appreciate you setting me down where I can get some light.
Sure. Yeah, you got to live too. Anything else I could do for you?
Yeah, could you go get a cup and just regular cup size, just dump it in the pot? Of water?
Like with water, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure. No.
Oh, they've got those bottled filtered waters. Could I get some of that? I mean, I'll take tap if that's what they got, but filtered water would be great.
I mean, yeah, I'll if I can find it. It's a matter of national security, and I'll go get them some filtered water.
Okay. Yeah, they've got the bottled filtered water,
Okay.
So.
And if I see like a new Prussian person walking by, I'll just be like, you guys really got to water the plants a bit more often. They're kind of asking for it.
Yeah. So I mean, as you do that, there's like, oh, I knew it's forgetting something.
Okay.
I mean, I know
The
you've
end
been
of the
dealing
end
with
of the
like a
world
war
was
or
kind of a
something,
priority.
I know, right? Yeah.
But don't forget those plants.
Hold on
I
a
want to
second.
know what his job was. I'm
Uh,
curious
So
about
you
his
just
job.
pour the water into the into the plant. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, perfect.
Yeah, and I put in a good word for you. They should hopefully be taking better care of you guys soon.
No, I mean, I get it. You know, the world was kind of coming to an end. We're highly flammable. You know, it kind of works out that way. But I appreciate it.
Yeah. You take care of yourself.
Hey, is that cosmic fire?
Yeah. How could you tell?
He says, well, I can pick up on like all kinds of radiation. Plants absorb it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's cosmic.
That's pretty rad, man. Did you come down like with the alien forces, or was that like before that?
As I kneel down and begin to tell my story to the plant.
Once upon a time.
It all started.
Well, wartime has really gotten to Pulsar's head.
Yeah. I did get really shrapneled up. All that's out of me, right?
You know, it's therapeutic.
Okay, yeah. And I got this scar in New York. And I got this scar in New York. I got all these scars in New York now.
Oh, so I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
I
if you're
got
going on
these
like
scars.
he says, you see this down at my base?
Yeah.
That was an edger. Almost took me.
Oh.
An edge.
Oh, it's terrible.
That's a gardening tool.
Yeah.
These are like plant war stories.
Right, exactly.
He says,
This is probably the.
and he says,
Okay.
you see the stem on the
weed
left.
whacker, man. The weed whacker.
Yeah, the weed whacker.
The weed whacker
You see-
incident.
and you see the stem off the left.
Oh, I do, yeah.
Red ants.
Oh, the worst. This is the most Pulsar's probably talked to anybody like in this like whole day, aside from
This
you
is-
guys.
This is making me think of that scene of Lethal Weapon where they're comparing wounds.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I want to know what the plant's job is.
It's like, see this? Pine beetle.
Yeah.
So then, while he's having a convo with the plant, Hyperion talking to Heat Phantoms, like,
Okay.
If you're willing to then obtain clearance from your direct superiors to at least join us in our conversation with Dr. Albrecht, we can then go meet with him to discuss what we can do with regard to Senia.
I'll hold up a card that says President Albert. You said doctor.
Oh, oops, yeah. President Albrecht.
Don't want to confuse him.
Yeah.
It's his first day.
He knows his El Presidente.
It would be my honor to have time with the president. This does not make me a prince, does it? No.
No, actually, my mother was President Albrecht's daughter.
It's complicating.
And out of character, he would know that that Reichshield and Electrum were like bitter enemies, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't need to explain the drama there.
Baby mama drama.
So did I get a hold of Terrius?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I would ask him if Jurgen has a few minutes to spare for us.
I'm certain he'll clear his calendar off for a few minutes. Give me about 5 to let him know he's right in the middle of a discussion with the senator.
Of course.
Sean's going to kind of step back a few, and she's going to contact Helios.
Okay.
Sean to Helios.
I am here. Helios is ever present.
Helios, will you do something for me? Is there a way to check to see if Megalith is okay?
Negative. I lack that capability currently.
Okay. That was all.
What shall I do with all of the breakfast foods that you have had me create and are sadly expiring?
Oh,
Put 'em in the
just
freezer.
I was not given a command to stop.
Oh no!
yeah, yeah, stop. Yeah, dispose of the ones that expired and don't make any more till we get home.
Affirmative. I will update that. May I make a
Okay.
request?
Yes.
Could you come with trash bags?
No, no!
Oh boy.
Don't need them. I got cosmic fire.
I will be right there. And she'll look at Hyperion. I'll be right back. And she goes poof.
Okay.
So so she'll arrive at the vein to see how bad it is.
I mean, thankfully, it's not like super gross. It's mostly like just coffee that's kind of molding, at certain points. So it smells. It's not horrible. And then, of course, there's pancakes that have been cooked that are just kind of, in various stages of funk, depending upon when they were made.
Oh boy. Yeah, she will she'll go get some garbage bags real quick.
Okay, so you are teleporting around trying to get garbage bags and for the place to clean up. Perfect.
Yeah, before they find out.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Yeah.
So just before we get back to Brittany when she comes back to screen, Pulsar. So he says, "Hey, you know the trick to trees, right? Getting on the good
No.
side.
No, tell me, please.
You got to placate them. They're old.
Oh, so like kind of speak to their like vanity, or I guess like make them seem like, oh, you're so venerable and
Right, exactly.
huh.
And because they're so
Okay.
old, they usually know a lot of stuff. It's a good way to get a lot of dirt. Get it?
Ah, yeah, I get it. That's a good one. Did plants come up with that one too?
Oh no.
No. Okay.
No, I used to be in a green room.
Hmm.
I love the puns.
No, seriously, like an actual green room, comedy store.
Wait, hold on. You first you were in the lawn, then you were in a comedy store,
Yeah,
and then somehow you found your way into the like secret meeting rooms of New Prussia.
yeah. When you say it like that, it does sound kind of weird, but it's. I mean, it's really not. You're radiating cosmic fire.
Oh yeah, no, I
That's
wasn't.
a little weirder, right?
Yeah, no, I wasn't judging. I was just making sure I understood the order of things.
Oh yeah,
Wow,
no, I totally get it. No, I'm a spy. I'm part of the Ether Corps.
Wait, hold on. Are you a? Wait, hold on. Am I like? Are you actually like a plant? Or are you like some sort of like super person who is like masquerading as a plant and making me go crazy?
All of that except the last half. Why would I
Okay.
be trying to make you crazy? You guys just got like awarded a bunch of medals, right? That'd be
Yeah.
kind of dumb.
Yeah, but now I'm the guy with cosmic fire coming out of his head talking to a potted plant. Like any person that like, every time I do try to talk to plants, everybody looks at me funny.
Oh, well, then if you just need a cover story, just stand up, like hit your head twice, yell beep, beep, and walk away. No one's going to question it.
Yeah, I just didn't want to be rude.
I mean, I appreciate it. You brought me over here. You got me water. It's great.
Yeah. So what's your name?
Oh, it's you don't have authorization for that.
Okay. Cool. I should probably get back to my siblings now.
Yeah, no problem. But I appreciate the few moments here and get me over to a better location. I was kind of starving.
Yeah. You take care of yourself, and yeah, we'll talk again soon.
It's Code Inch Grapevine.
Mm,
He says, "Yeah, good, and keep up the good work."
Thanks. I'm gonna come back big.
Flamio Hotman.
Yeah. I don't know what to say and just move on.
Okay.
Does New Prussia have a person who transforms into plants or something?
You walk. So, you walk back to your siblings and you
Yeah.
just blurt that out?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess it's up for anybody to answer except for Shone.
oh, you met Ronnie. Oh, that's cool.
Is
Oh,
that
right on.
is that who that was? Because
Yeah.
like
Oh, Ronnie's a plant now. That's cool.
I have to just believe it because that plant like
Really convincing, right? Yeah, he really looks like a plant. It's really cool.
I asked them what their name was and they told me it didn't have clearance.
Yeah.
That plant
That's Ronnie.
yeah. Do you guys know that pollen is affecting or is like the trees are using pollen to put like jokes into our minds?
That makes sense. Yeah.
Well,
I believe
that's what Ronnie said.
it.
But I immediately I was like, wait, am I actually talking to a plant or am I talking to a person pretending to be a plant? And that's why I came over here because I'm not sure.
You're talking
Huh.
to a plant person.
And you found this out how, Red Arsenal?
Oh, you just, yeah.
Huh. I think your brother is playing a trick on you, Pulsar.
Okay. I mean, I'm an easy mark. I was just talking to a plant, so
I casually, like, all of a sudden you see my skin tone turning green. and
Are you
and
a
I'm sitting
plant
here
too?
going like this, and then like they start like flattening out and turning into leaves.
You guys are
I'm
rotten.
not a plant.
You're a lot greener than I remember.
I see nothing wrong.
Then again, you are ice powered, and plants and ice don't go together. I've played Pokemon.
Is this what humans call brotherly love? Interesting.
Lightbringer, you get a notice that he has a few minutes for you.
Okay, I'll tell him we're waiting in the conference room where we just were.
Where Ronnie's at.
Oh, okay. Well, Terrius says, I'm telling you, you have clearance to come to us. He steps out of the room. He's going to get swamped by people.
Right. Where is he right now?
He's in the presidential suite.
Do you have a problem with us bringing
Heat Phantom.
Heat Phantom? I know it's Heat something.
No, of course not. I take it you've had the conversation with him already?
Yeah. So the president knows about that.
Yeah, when we discovered it, he was the first we told.
Okay. All right. We'll be there shortly. So I will close that channel and I'll say we are authorized to meet the president in his office, in his private office. Yes, including you. So if you'll follow me.
Follow.
Excellent.
Stone's
Click.
cleaning up biohazards.
Oh, yeah.
So
Should
Shone
somebody,
is not currently there.
should somebody contact Shone?
She is cleaning up biohazards.
Yeah, I guess I'll go on comms and say we're going to the president's office. Where did you guys go?
Oh, yeah, I will be right there.
Okay.
Tell her to bring compost for Ronnie.
You tell her to bring compost for Ronnie.
Who's
Hey,
Ronnie?
Sean, can you bring some compost for Ronnie, please?
She looks
Sean,
at the.
Please
looks at
belay
the-
that order.
She looks at the molding pancakes.
Oh, I missed. Okay, that's the biohazard.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Right now, Heat Phantom is regretting his feelings of admiration for the legacy.
So you hastily make your way through the rest of the the business end of the presidential estate, getting into the presidential suite, where he's currently hosting private parties who wish to have discussions with him or whatnot. And there are still several people waiting out there, but Terrius is waiting outside the door. Terrius actually he has a visible deviant appearance. For those of you who don't know, because it hasn't come up a whole lot.
Isn't he missing a nose? Or I remember
He
him
has
missing...
he has eyes, but otherwise lacks a face.
That's what it was. Yeah.
He's the opposite of Drade.
There
Yeah.
you go. Yeah.
There you go.
So together they make.
A full face.
But you're able to hear him because he speaks through telepathy. So, anyways, so he motions the group in, and the inside of the presidential suite, of course, is very, it gives the same feeling of the Oval Office, for the White House. Nice Brobdingnagian desk. Decor that's in here, a big state seal of the country.
There's a Scrabble word for you.
Yeah. What's that?
There's a Scrabble word for you.
Brobdingnagian.
Man.
It's a $5 word that means big.
Gesundheit.
So, but he is there. He's actually sitting at his desk and motions for everybody to come in. And he says, Terrius tells me you needed a few minutes for a discussion. How can I assist?
Phantom, of course, gives the proper salute to the president. Stands at attention.
Sure.
Mr. President, given the debrief that everyone's just received, especially with regard to New Senia and the Dravixium issue, what with that now likely being an even greater threat since others could possibly obtain it without it being moderated, we're wondering if it would make sense to see if we could develop some sort of counter to it, if at all possible, given that it's so extraordinarily strong and powerful compared to most other alloys. If we had some sort of countermeasure, do you believe that that would be useful in this situation?
It is something that we are currently working on. Thanks to Lightbringer and what she managed to quickly develop, we're looking at attempting to bring that forward in a safe way. The concern we have, obviously, is that we don't want this technology getting out.
Understood. We weren't fully aware if you had already known that Lightbringer had developed that form of counteragent. It sounds like then the new Prussian scientists are actually working to perfect that.
Correct. But we're also stopping to analyze it, from my understanding, for environmental impact.
It's a good
Makes
idea.
sense. Well, excellent. With regard to that, we also have somewhat of a personal matter with regard to the New Senian situation. You may or may not be aware that Pulsar's parents, at least one of them, was a deviant slave in Senia. We may have the ability to try to actually track that individual down directly and attempt a rescue. Would our presence there cause any interference with any other operations that New Prussia or other countries are enacting in that region?
Right now, we just have eyes on. We have not been able to, for obvious reasons, we haven't been able to fully mobilize to put our presence beyond monitoring on the island. Our pressing matters were immediately Belarus and securing our Eastern Bloc alliance with Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. It was important to us that we show strength and unity to our particular partners in this region, given how volatile everything is. And then, of course, Russia still poses a significant threat because we don't fully know what has happened with their nukes. So we have people investigating that. But, and this is something I didn't bring up at the meeting, we're also concerned about the facility. If you follow my meaning.
Yes. Interesting.
It fell under the purview of one of the breakaway states, and we are certain what their intentions are, what they're doing with it. And so that is quietly growing to be a very primary concern. We don't know if any of the Yubari managed to remain and they're revitalizing those efforts, or what exactly is going on. So it may be some time before we can actually put boots on the ground in Senia. So if you're going to go, if you're going to do it, you may as well go ahead now. I do know that the UN, even though their pittance forces there are attempting to do something, but expect Japan and South Korea to be there in force very soon. So if you're going to do something like that, it may not be, it may actually be in your best interest to perhaps confer with one of them, perhaps partner up.
Excellent. He looks to the group and says, well, it seems that we have now something to accomplish with regard to Senia. Are we all ready, or do we need more time to prepare?
He looks at Hyperion and he says, if you don't mind a word of advice, maybe some time to repair?
Yes. You have a point.
And Helios still has to find who we're looking for.
And then he looks at Pulsar and he says, are your parents requesting asylum?
I haven't heard from them in a long time. I escaped as a child, and
So what I heard was yes.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. Yeah, if
Very
I can
well.
find them, yes, please.
If you are able to locate them and they wish to locate away from that hellhole that is Senia currently, I will find a spot for them here.
Yeah, I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you.
After everything that you and your team has done for this country and the world, it's the very least I could do.
Much obliged, President. Excellent. Then we shall finish resting, recovering, rebuilding, and then make our way there as soon as we can. Of course, if you need anything else of us, don't hesitate to contact us.
Of course. And he looks directly at Heat Phantom and he says, given the circumstances, your particular assignment now is going to become fluid. You are to partner with the Legacy. Go get your loadout, take a quantum entanglement kit so that you can carry it with you, and report back as you can.
You muted.
Muted.
Yep. I'm sure those were all great words.
Only the best words.
Only the best words.
In a good accent.
And just for that, I'm not going to say them again.
No, no, I wasn't joking. I really like your accent.
We'll
Yeah,
see how
George
it
is
does
all
with the
about
dice
George
bot.
is all about the accents.
Accents are so cool.
We'll see how it does with the dice bot.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh yeah. There you go.
So what did Heat Phantom say?
Yes, sir. I follow your orders.
Okay, cool.
In a very cool accent.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that, then we're probably going to have a little bit of a time jump for next game. So there's obviously an opportunity to finish repairs and whatnot. We're going to go ahead and end it here. And we're going to start off with the RP vote.
Yay.
Oh, first of all, did we have any birthdays this month?
Abby.
She is part of the team.
In this game?
She is part of this game.
She has guest appeared in this game, yes.
Yeah, she's a special guest star.
Yes.
My birthday was last Sunday.
Oh yeah, so then we have one. Yeah, we have one.
Yeah.
Which qualifies. Okay.
Did we count for that in Star Wars?
Yes.
I think we did, yeah.
Okay, so for starters, we need to do monthly karma, and then we need to do birthday karma. So
Roll that beautiful dice there,
we're
Dale.
gonna have. So we'll have Matt roll 1d10 to start, and somebody can roll monthly karma.
I'll do the monthly.
Wow.
Yeah. 9 and an 8.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
What?
What? All right, so that's times 50. So how this works, I think I talked to you about this before, Matt, is that everybody puts into a karma bank, and then people just make turns, going through and making
Upgrading.
expenditures.
Up to how much?
I think it's 5,000.
Yeah, so the way that works, as far as spending it, if it's going to be several things that you're upgrading at once, the maximum you can spend at one time is 5,000. If you're just upgrading one thing to make it even stronger, you can go beyond the 5,000 cap. We have this improvement cycle, which we'll go ahead and put you into that. In fact, Matt, if you could roll a D100, and then I'll look at my list that I've gotten and put you in the cycle so we know when your turn is. Right now, it's actually Shelly's turn.
Mm-hmm.
When it becomes a person's turn, they're the one who gets to do it. 7. Okay. I'll put you in there.
7 out of
Dead
100?
last.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. We had 9 and 8. That's 17. You're a part of the team now, which means there's 7 members. So that's 17 times 350. So we just earned 5,950 karma there. Adding that to
Nice.
what
We need to-
we currently have. So now our group bank is at a total of 14,255.
Wow.
How much
Been a
is
minute since we
how much
spent
is
that.
our petty cash? Or
We
our
still
petty,
have
petty
our-
karma.
Yeah, we still have our group available at 500. We haven't spent
Okay.
anything from that yet.
Okay, so before we continue, we need to do RP votes, because that person will get an extra 200 karma specifically for them. We're going to start with Davey.
I'm gonna vote for.
We don't have a
Go for Ronnie.
Everyone did really well this session. I really enjoyed playing with you guys. I'm gonna give it to Will.
Who?
Heat Phantom.
Heat Phantom. Will. Get your name out of my mouth. Okay, so Matt. So Brittany.
Also, Matt, to the new guy.
Okay, to the new guy.
So far, so good.
Matt.
I understand his name is Davey. I loved him taking over the Rodney plant.
Okay.
My character
Wait till-
couldn't have done it, but that's something I would have done if I
Wait
was
till-
playing that type of character.
Wait till you hear his math.
Okay, so one for Davey, two for Matt. Dale.
I'm going to go with George because he made a plant friend. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Shelley.
George, the plant thing that got me.
Okay.
I hope it doesn't leak state secrets to him.
Derek.
No, I cared a lot
I'm
about
not-
clearance.
Am I the determining vote
Nope.
You are
Yes.
No.
between George and Matt?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to go Matt anyway. But George is a very, 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 very plant second. It's a close second.
Plant second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plant second.
So then so Derek, you give it to Matt, and then George.
I was going to go for Matt because
Okay.
cool accent.
Cool. There we
Yes.
go. Matt, you earn an additional
you.
200 XP or 200 karma, sorry, on your sheet. Karma can be used. So obviously you can tap into that to boost something up if you want, or you can hold on to it to put to your dice roll to make sure something goes through that you really need it to go through. So that's how karma works. The team has a separate pool that they hold off. That's why Dale was saying 500. So that basically the way it normally works is if you're going to pull from that, you just ask. But this is your specific karma. You don't have to ask anybody for it. So as an FYI too, talents are 100 karma apiece.
Hey,
Jerome, can we-
Dale.
Yeah.
I will get with you sometime this week to spend karma.
Jerome, can I spend my own personal karma on improving my or gaining a talent or anything like
Yeah.
that?
100%.
Oh, okay.
And
And-
Matt, Heat Phantom has a reroll.
Oh, nice.
Derek just redeemed some points, so he's giving you a free reroll. So mark that on your sheet.
Yeah, I'm trying to save up points to give him out his. I was going to give him his first one.
Too
Wow.
late.
Neener.
Just reimburse Derek.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so cool.
Thank you very much.
No problem. So
Yeah.
thank you guys for playing tonight. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you got those of you who hung out with us enjoyed the game, or those who watched on the replay. Our next game coming up is Cyberpunk. This coming Wednesday
Let's go
at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then the following week we'll be back on track for Star Wars, Mythic Savannah, and this game again. So
Yeah, and welcome to the game, Matt.
Yeah.
and welcome,
you.
yes, welcome.
Welcome to the
Appreciate
party,
letting me-
pal.
Jump in
welcome to the
unannounced.
family.
So
Literally.
yeah, so we'll go ahead and sign out here, and I hope you guys have a good night. Good night, guys.
Bye.
So, Matt,